Enough to get a slot, so hopefully he can put his hand up there early this time in.
Good luck.
Thanks very much.
This is race number 8, the Expedo Missile Stakes, and quite appropriate now. And jumping quite well was Enchanted Heart with Prime Candidate, and Embracer is revved up to go and join the leaders. Prime Candidate from Embracer, Forbidden Love away well, and Bowman's looking to slot in on the favourite and does so in advance of Bellucci Babe. Then came Gem Song from Wonderbar, Heart Empire getting tight for room. Count the Rupee, Enchanted Heart gets back in the field on the outside of Halal. Then came Nimmerly and Special Awards last. Prime Candidates whistling along in the lead. Out by 3 lengths on Embracer. Forbidden Love third, 3/4 the inside, Bellucci Babe. Then came Gem Song on the outside of Wonderbar, Heart Empire, Nimmerly, Count the Rupee, Halal being reined along from Enchanted Heart, and Special Award is last of all. Prime Candidate straightens in front by 2 on Embracer, then Forbidden Love, Bellucci Babe going back to the inside, working into the clear as Wonderbar and Gem Song on the outside. It's Prime Candidate just the leader from Gem Song, and going through is Wonderbar, Heart Empire down the outside with a big run. Heart Empire moved up to Gem Song. Heart Empire, the Queenslander, went on by and won the Missile Stakes. Wonderbar second, and nose in front of Gem Song. Enchanted Heart fourth. Then Count the Rupee, followed by Special Award, Halal, Forbidden Love, Prime Candidate, Nimmerly, Bellucci, Babe, Embracer. Some reputations have been dented there. Heart Empire, Rachel King winning the Missile at any price.
Yes, look. 100 to 1. 100 to 1. Hard Empire. 104.
Where it's come from. He was $10 in the Ramornie. Second up here, he has jumped out of the ground. He's beat the
Super at home. I didn't think he needed to turn around a great deal to run a good race. I thought if he could run into a place, I'd be very happy. But Rachel rode him beautifully, and once he gets outside horse, he's very strong.
So without being over,
Arthur's your best anywhere today.
I am, yeah. It's a real match race, this, Marto. Go Wanji and Goliath, and 2 horses that I'm really excited to see from a future viewpoint, and I think this is one of the races of the day. I'm really looking forward to this clash.
Goliath light with him, number 1. I'm just hoping they get run at a strong...
Right to run, 1200. Stand by. Brave racing, Delay the way brilliantly. Go Wanji has come out second last, but Delay the leader. Plutocrat going forward quickly. Third early doors is Dusty Time by length and a quarter. Second Plutocrat, and third the outside is Deference, and fourth offence is Northern Night, and just in behind those is Dusty Tycoon. Fleet Dove 3 wide. Next back nearer the inside is Albuena, Brazen Jam. Go Wanji is second last, out 3 and 4 wide, about 6 off the leader. And last of all, Festival Prince at the 450. So Delight is the leader. Second Plutocrat. Third the outside there is Deference and Dusty Tycoon. Northern Night back nearer the inside. Fleet Doves 1 from the outside, and Go Wanji is winding up. He's coming out after Delight. Delight in front, but Go Wanji's making ground quickly. Delight and Go Wanji. Go Wanji on the outside, and Delight. Go Wanji dashed up and took the lead from Delight. Brazen Gem, Festival Prince, and Go Wanji. Go Wanji's won it brilliantly. Photo second between lunging Brazen Gem at Delight, and close up Festival Prince in the photo too, followed by Albuena.
Well, what do you say? What do you say? Class comes to the top all of the time. That's why he had number 1. That's why he had 60 kilos. He puts up 2 lengths.
At the winning post.
Close.
The 72 on the day for older horses. Led, beaten by Kaboo in the recent trial, but was untouched. They probably, well, they went as well as each other. I think they're both terrific. Kaboo then Must Be a Danger. Soft maiden win jump delivered.
what's going to happen here in the Rosebud? We're down to race number 8.
There it is now, and the 3-year-olds are off and racing. Voldemort was last out of the gate. Zuccarino jumped well with Kaboo showing good muster, and Troach is having a crack as well. Troach moves up on the outside of Kaboo to keep the pace genuine early. Zuccarino lands a great spot on the inside of Sweet Ride, and Psychiatrist in the white cap whipping around the field, followed by Miss Hellfire. Spacewalks back in the field, a length off to Savignac, and Voldemort sees them all. Troach Trocher's really trying to stack them up now at the 600. Leads by a length on the favourite Qaboos. Then Zuccarino, the rails deeper out Psychiatrist, followed by Sweet Ride. Spacewalk 3 wide with a bit of cover from Miss Hellfire, Sebenak. And last of all into the straight is Voldemort. They've got 400 metres to run and Troch leads the way by a length on Qaboos. Zuccarino needs a bit of room. Sweet Ride's hanging tough the outside. And now Spacewalk pulling to the outside to launch his claim. And quickly Spacewalk moved up in a 5-way go. Spacewalk put his head in front. Zuccarino's getting the gap now, giving chase. Spacewalk in front from Zuccarino. Spacewalk. Zuccarino drives on the inside and might have got up. Photo. Zuccarino lunging at Spacewalk right on the wire. Getting up on the inside. Troach, I'd say third, just in front of Qaboos. Then came Voldemort from Sebenak, Miss Hellfire, and
McDonald or something. I don't know. And Qaboos gets the big squeeze up in the middle. I think they just come together, and there might have been some yelling and screaming. They had to straighten their mounts, but he went straight as a gun barrel there. Zuccarino, he is a lovely colt. Look, we'll have to see the head-on. And what happens? A bit of both. They both come together. Yeah, a bit of just general tightening, but it may have cost Spacewalk the race because he had to straighten, didn't he?
He laid in and he.
Afternoon, it is the Group 3 Vein Stakes for the 3-year-old colts and geldings, and this is a great race. It is a lot of class horses lining up here, and we can see that reflective in some of the punting moves that we've seen so far. So Alpha One is our $2.90 favourite, in from $3.40. The bulk of that damage done prior to
firm. Alpha One, $3, Giga Kick, $4. A little bit of support for Semi.
And away they go. Giga Kick away fairly. Alpha One sprung the gates fast and led early with Semi on. 2 further back, Cannonball, Giga Kick, Thronbone, followed by Mullane, Man in the Mirror back to last. So Alpha One onto the course proper. 800 metres to go, led by a length to Semi on. They're 3 lengths Cannonball, followed by Thronbone, 2 lengths to Giga Kick on the outside of Man in the Mirror. And last of all, settling down is Mullane at the 600 metres. So it is Alpha One. Looks to be contained speed at the moment by a length and a quarter. Semi on as second. Thronbone as third. Then came Cannonball, Man in the Mirror. Giga Kick with 5 to make up. And Mullane will track it. Around the turn, 350 out. Alpha One held together by a length. Semi on Thronbone. Cannonball. Giga Kick to the outside, followed by Man in the Mirror. Alpha One called upon. 200 metres to go. Giga Kick wants to lay in, but it's running home hard. Alpha One, 100 to go. Giga Kick a neck away. Alpha One digs in. Giga Kick wearing it down. Giga Kick moves up. Nailed it. Giga Kick smart win. Beat Alpha One, Mullane. And fourth in the race was Cannonball. Then came Thronbone, Semi on, Man in the Mirror at the end.
This is going to be a special chat. Clayton Douglas's first stake success comes with a horse that could take him to the top of the racing game. Giga Kick is 3 for 3, and today he showed us some grit, some blue collar to go alongside that undoubted talent that took him to those victories at Sale and at Flemington as he returned.
Hopefully we can get a similar result here with the fillies, the Quezette Stakes, and it is a wide open contest. So Ebhart with a big boom, a couple of really flashy trials up in Sydney, come off in terms of the way that this track may race for the remainder of the meeting. Let's take a look at the market and the late money for what is a really tricky race to try and identify the winner. Punters have shown their hand though, and it is number 12, Waltz On By, our new favourite.
Away they go. Lamandra from the middle was away okay. Lady Laguna jumped away fast with Bistro the inside and Miss Rosiano out deeper. They are the 3 across the track from She's Got the Boom, and then came Ebha. Back behind those, I'm Loving You, Waltz On By, and then came Lamandra, who's wide midfield, a length bound for home, Typhoon Titmus. Towards the back of the field is Winner Takes It All, and then came Berry, Bubbly, and Oh High is at the end. So Bistro is the lamplighter, 600 metres to go, by a length and a half. 2 in second place, Lady Laguna. They were followed by Ebha on the outside. Further back in the field is Waltz On By, Miss Rosiano out deeper. She's Got the Boom would be about 4 off the lead coming around the corner, and they were followed next in the field by Winner Takes It All. So Bistro, 250 metres to go in front. Waltz On By can't get a run. Lady Laguna's keeping her in, bound for home the outside, and here comes Ebha, and Oh High is getting through, bound for home, 100 metres to go. Oh High coming at her, bound for home, a neck. Oh High bound for home is home. Beat Oh High. Third, I'm Loving You. And fourth in the race was Lady Laguna. They were followed next in the field by Ebha, in company with Waltz on by, who was turned sideways in the straight from Typhoon Tetmus. Then came Bistro, who got tired, Berry, Bubbly, and back behind them was Miss Rosiano towards the back. She's got the boom, and winner takes it all.
What a result this is for Ballarat-based trainer Archie Alexander. Bound from home, his daughter of Rubik has got the job done. Of course, we mentioned pre-race, she got the closest of anyone to the Flying Gennady up the straight at Flemington back at the beginning of June. And Declan Bates, who hasn't been
set, and away they go. Sinawon tried to anticipate the start, goes back to the end of the field. Rangers jumped well with Uncommon James, Sartorial Splendor, and not too far away Felicia from those leaders. 2 lengths Open Mind, and William Thomas last. 500 to go. Sartorial Splendor, 3/4 of a length in front of Felicia before the turn. Then came Open Minded, niggled at. Further back Rangers. Uncommon James just needs a bit of an out now from High Stranger, Sinawon, Lombardo, Viral, William Thomas into the running. Sartorial Splendor at the 250 from Felicia, full bore. Uncommon James gets out, and then Open Minded and Rangers. Uncommon James moves up and takes the lead from Felicia, and then Rangers. Uncommon James, 100 metres to go, darting away. A smart win. Uncommon James won it well. Rangers second, Photo third. William Thomas or Felicia. Then came Open Minded, High Stranger. Further back. Well, that was an easy win in the end. Uncommon James, a double for Damien Lane. Steve O'Day and Matthew Hoysted have a smart sprinter on their hands. And once he got out, and now this gelding by Cable Bay. 6 starts for 5 wins and a minor. It's run some good stats in weaker grade in Brisbane, but a bit of a test for him today against these Melbourne open class sprinters, and that's been a...
Horses are just about to be entering the mounting yard for our feature race of the day. It is the Group 2 PB Lawrence Stakes over the 1400 metres, and we see some nice horses returning here up against those with the race fitness on their side. Well, the favourite all throughout betting has been the last start Doncaster winner in Mr. Brightside, and at $3.50 he's really quite solid at that price at the moment. Open $3.30, slight...
Stakes. It's got a glittering honour roll. Who's going to add their name?
I think Mr. Brightside's the most likely winner. He deserves favouritism for me. He's just a very good horse. He went well first up last prep time out.
Had something on Uncle Bryn. I certainly didn't expect him to be in as short as he is. He's tumbled in on course as well with the Victorian official price into $7. So if you like him, that $8.
Mr. Brightside on top for me. You just can't buy his attitude on race day. He is so composed. He takes everything in his stride.
Well, he's a little bit easy, the favourite here, Mr. Brightside. He's now out to $4. In fact, I think he might just be back into $3.90 now, but there's been quite a bit happening in the past 10 minutes or so. One of the bigger pushes has been for Uncle Bryn, as the boys have already mentioned, into $8 now, but sustained support for...
And away they go. Mr. Brightside jumped away well. Elephant and Uncle Bryn go back to the end. Streets of Avalon was the best to jump, with also Buffalo River. Mr. Brightside a length and a quarter away, third from Azar and Scolopini wider. A length Regal Power, I Am Super. Streets of Avalon out deeper. Azar forces up, and Mr. Brightside will get cover. A length and a quarter Scolopini, who's wide around I Am Superman, Regal Power. Uncle Bryn is second last, and Elephant is last. 750 metres to go. So the leader is Buffalo River. Tries to fill up the lungs. A length and a half to Azar, Streets of Avalon. 2 lengths Mr. Brightside, Scolopini. Then came Regal Power, inching ground the inside from I Am Superman, Uncle Bryn, and Elephant last of all as they come up towards the corner. Buffalo River and Dan Stackhouse at the 450, still 2 lengths Azar, Streets of Avalon. Mr. Brightside presents out 3 wide on the course. Regal Power getting off the fence behind it. Then I Am Superman, Scolopini regressing, and then Uncle Bryn. It's still Buffalo River. 200 metres to go. 2 lengths Mr. Brightside, and I Am Superman launching. Buffalo River 100 to go. Mr. Brightside bridging the gap with I Am Superman. Mr. Brightside's back. Mr. Brightside won it from I Am Superman, Buffalo River, then Regal Power. Next to finish Scolopini, Uncle Bryn, Streets of Avalon, Elephant, and last Azar. Mr. Bright.
What a ride. The connections of Mr. Brightside are going on. The fans of the Killers are rejoicing, and this horse has just been on the most magnificent trajectory since crossing from New Zealand for Lindsay Park, all the way from a preparation last year that took him through to winning the Seymour Cup at Ballarat and then running a fantastic race in a Cantala. We know what the culmination of his autumn campaign was, a Group 1 success and a Doncaster. The remaining box to tick was Wait for Age, and he's ticked that today in stylish fashion. And Craig Williams grabs his second win in the PB Lawrence in recency.
Beautiful run in transit for Craig Williams, did Mr. Brightside, and he's returned in style. The Doncaster winner, I Am Superman, charges late, couldn't get there. Buffalo River on conditions firmer than what he's known for. Has run a terrific race and not a bad...
A wide run. Up a notch here, but if Behemoth is below his best, she's a danger.
And Pim's Party's another one to firm everywhere, 23 into $15, a last start winner in much easier grade at the track. And
really savaged the line.
So as we touched on, Behemoth shooting for 3 wins on the bounce in this race. Last year beat Beau Rosser and Retrato, and Darlasan and Kemmel Passer the year before. Darlasan won it in 18. The Group 3 feature, the Spring Stakes, the return of Behemoth with Brett.
Race 7, off they go, and Behemoth, he went up with the gates basically, and he's missed it by a couple. He's back last, Spark Up's with him. Quietly discreet, they head to the side of the course. Behemoth, who's back towards the rear, in company with Spark Up, Pim's Party and Calypso Rain, just worse than midfield, 3 wide. 600 metres to run. Outlaw's Revenge looking to cross over and take the lead from Quietly Discreet, who's holding the fence. Pindaric, What You Want, Royal Mile. Then came, as they head up to the turn, Calypso Rain. Behemoth's back in traffic. He's trying to work his way through. Extreme Thrill hard up against the fence. Royal Mile, Calypso Rain wider out. Ranging up with Pindaric and Outlaw's Revenge, and Calypso Rain sprinted to the lead. What You Want trying to match. Then Pindaric and Quietly Discreet won't go away. It's Calypso Rain a half in front from Pindaric. What You Want. There's no Behemoth. Pim's Party runs on, but Calypso Rain races clear with the Spring Stakes. From Pindaric and Pim's Party, then What You Want, Extreme Thrill. Followed next by Royal Mile, then Agreeable, Quietly Discreet, Stuck on Well, Kenyan Wonder, Spark Up, Outlaw's Revenge, Tired, Behemoth, Never Into It after an awkward getaway, and Venusian's last.
Well, it's a race of mixed emotions here for the David Jolly and Grand Syndication team. Behemoth not in the finish, but the second string Calypso Rain takes the race from Pindaric. Pim's Party third.
This is a good race, and Hutch mentioned it earlier that we've got some really short previous starting prices among a lot of these runners, and what that means in terms of them all clashing here today, it means that the punters have really got absolutely no idea. It is the favourite Fujita San, who did touch $2.50, now back.
Signal racing at the 1200 metres, and Fujita San missed the start by a length and a quarter, and Let's Roll the Dice goes back to second last. Charlemagne, as expected, jumped well and led by about a half neck El Padrino after 200 metres. Length Chester Warrior third the rails, and then came Fast Witness. 2 further back Fujita San, and Let's Roll the Dice is last of the 6 by the school at the 550. Charlemagne with a cheap split here. 3/4 of a length El Padrino, a length and a half Fast Witness, Chester Warrior. Let's Roll the Dice and Fujita San with a bit to do, as Fujita San is able to extricate off the fence. Coming up towards the corner, the race on now. 350 out at Charlemagne just in front of El Padrino. Then Fast Witness stoked up as they come around the corner. Fujita San with a lot to do. Let's Roll the Dice under the whip. Charlemagne railed like a greyhound at the 150. A length El Padrino and Fast Witness the outside. But Charlemagne with 100 metres to go. El Padrino and Fast Witness coming out after it. Charlemagne trying to hold on. Fast Witness dives, and it's a photo. Photo finish, Fast Witness, Charlemagne, a photo, El Padrino for third, then came a photo for fourth, Fujita San, and Let's Roll the Dice, and then Chester Warrior. Fast Witness coming at Charlemagne, they've hit it locked together, it's on the nod here, it's on the nod, and Fast Witness will get up. Fast Witness, number 8, Ethan Brown for Kieran Maher and David Eustace, has put its head down on the line to nail Charlemagne. with about 50 metres to go. Fast Witness looked like the horse that was going to win, but it's happened in slow.
Far off the second of our listed feature races on the program. It is the Carline Stakes over the 1,000 metres, and we do have a short price favourite here in the form of Extremely Lucky. He is one of the more exciting horses on the program with what he visions today, but they've gone absolutely whack here. We can see Bella Nipotina likely to start favourite, $3.10 when I last spoke to you, now into $2.70, equal favourite, but I think she's going to clear out from Extremely Lucky, who's holded favouritism this entire...
Ready, signal and away. Mossman Gorge took a little skip in the air, didn't miss it by a great deal. Maliva jumped well with Estella Rocker. Maliva will lead Estella Rocker by a half. 2 lengths Mossman Gorge, now 2.5, and then came Bella Nipotina, Extremely Lucky, and last Rockin' Horse. Maliva clearly by a length and a quarter. Estella Rocker 700 from home. Then came Mossman Gorge, the inside of Bella Nipotina. Next in the field, Extremely Lucky and Rockin' Horse, 3/4 of a length away, last of the 6. So it's Maliva left alone by a neck now. Estella Rocker getting a bit closer at the 450. 2 further back, Mossman Gorge, who's ridden along from Bella Nipotina, who tracks up behind the leaders. Extremely Lucky's going to be the widest around the corner, and then came Rockin' Horse, 250 out. Maliva held together from Estella Rocker. Bella Nipotina 2 lengths off those. Extremely Lucky to the outside. Maliva at the 150 in front of Bella Nipotina, and Extremely Lucky is flashing down the outside. Maliva joined by Bella Nipotina. Bella Nipotina goes home better, well supported and won. Bella Nipotina from Maliva, Extremely Lucky, then Rockin' Horse. Further back, Estella Rocker, and Mossman Gorge was last.
Well, Lamar Eustace Camp, who've been the dominant training partnership in Victoria for a couple of years now. They walked onto the Valley today with 2 Metro winners from 18 starters for the season so far. They've won 4 on the afternoon. They've grabbed their first stakes victory since Ruthless Dame won the the other 2-year-old race, the Thoroughbred Breeders.
More feature racing here at Royal Randwick. This is for the 3-year-old fillies, the Darley Silver Shadow Stakes, 1,200. And it's a group.
Racing now. And there's a great line out. Queen of the Ball was one of the first into stride. North Star Lasses showing very good speed to join her, followed by Zugotcha, Snit Cat. Opal Ridges cast deep around Revolutionary Miss in secret, going up the inside of Mumbai Jewel. Further back to 7 Vales in tight room from Mayoshi. Willinga Beast. Further back then to Midnight in Tokyo from Wolverine. Grace's Secret on the fence is one of the last ones. So it's North Star Lass up on the outside of Queen of the Ball, going stride for stride, clear from Snit Cat. Then came Zugotcha. Further back to In Secret, 3 back the inside of Mumbai Jewel. Opal Ridges on a wide path with Revolutionary Mess. Then came Willinga Beast, Midnight in Tokyo, 7 Vales, Grace's Secret, Wolverine, and Mayoshi is the last one. Into the straight, Queen of the Ball and North Star Lass from Snit Cat. Zugotcha the inside from Mumbai Jewel. Coming into it well as Willinga Beast if it gets a run. In Secret driving for the same run but didn't get it. Willinga Beast a length off them. Zugotcha the inside from North Star Lass. Now In Secret's working into the clear, but Zugotcha's drawn clear, and Zugotcha goes on to beat the luckless In Secret. North Star Lass third, followed by Queen of the Ball. Willinga Beast got her chance. Wolverine late than 7 Vales. Further back to Snit Cat, Grace's Secret, Mumbai Jewel, Midnight in Tokyo from Opal Ridge, Mayoshi, and Revolutionary Miss was about the last in.
Zugotcha, Chris Waller and Willie Pike. Too good for In Secret, who had a little bit of difficulty getting into the clear. Zugotcha along the inside gets the money.
Yep, and they put up 50 to 1 her on Wednesday, and when they found out Pike was on it, she was off the map into a much shorter price of $26, and they haven't stopped specking her since. Lovely filly, paraded well, had the Queensland winter on her back. Typical Chris Waller, where he's looked after them and will improve In Secret. Look, she's more of a miler, little North Star Lass, so that's a good effort from her. And Willinga Beast is an improver as well. But we'll have to have a few looks at that. Wolverine's hit
to win on the day with a filly by a sire he trained in Zoo Star. Zugotcha gets the money in the Group 2 Silver Shadow first leg of the Darley Princess Series.
No fluke in it either. No fluke in it. Look, the talk about the track yesterday was off the rails, obviously. I got no issue with that. Every horse gets their chance. chance when they dodge the part they don't like. It's much better than the previous, you know, when the fence is on fire. So just back to the track, which I didn't mention, I've got no issue with the fence being off. This filly cut the corner, no fluke in the performance. Love these. This race is set up for these horses that have wintered in Queensland, residual fitness, bit of sun on their back, and this was proven here. Now, In Secret was unlucky. You'd have to say, just it has to barge out there late. She did not have the spring bloom about her, so I think she's obviously the big improver, and she's going to be popular when she goes to Furious at 1200. My question is she a sprinter, or is she? She's going to be vulnerable, I think, when she gets to the, you know, if she goes to T-Rose, the flight, looking at a pedigree out of a low pink, so I'm invincible. And there's always exceptions. So while everyone's black book would be about In Secret, and she's a likeable filly of what she's done, I just want to see how she comes on.
I liked others out of it as well. I liked Wolverine, who ran the best 200 and 600 of the race and will relish stepping up in Troop as well. Yep.
There's a couple here. I think it was Midnight in Tokyo, never got out. Yeah, never got out at all.
Yeah. We've got the Furious and the T-Rose to go. So there's a lot to happen before we get to that Flyke Stakes.
Feature race of the day, the first Group 1 of the new season. This is the Winx Stakes over 1400, weight for age, and they're in the yard. This mounting yard brought to you by two-time Group 1 winner Tommy Verry, Annabelle Neesham.
Including this race last year, he's had 2 trials. He's a very hard horse to read, isn't he? Without those blinkers on in his trials, and
everyone wanted to see and how he parades, how he is on race day. He's wearing those red earmuffs for the mounting yard only. It is Animo, James McDonald and James Cummings.
Yeah, these girls have got me terrified. They're out the back there saying, oh, he's kicking the place down, he's in a mad, he's crazy. He's an angel, there's nothing wrong with him. I want to see once the jockey gets on him. So far, so good. Look, we know he's a class horse. No, it's a funny day today. Very well, could this be the one? He's a lot of work's gone into him with Richard. He's had the 3 trials, he's ready. He was coasting behind Animo in the trials.
Both Group 3s. She rides Forbidden Love for Michael Friedman.
She just looked so well, and she still looks so well. She can't run back. Very good winning the Light Fingers first up last preparation. So if they go hard enough, and it's down the way this track's playing now, things are falling into her hands.
Really good for him. So that's a positive for the favourite. And Forbidden Love, she looked great. Tough race. Mwanga my on top selection.
Expected him to sweat up once the jockey got on board. Yeah, I'd say that's 8.5 out of 10 for him, and he'll get better next time as well. The girls were telling me he was going
for the Winx.
Ready, and they're racing. Animo was one of the last into stride, and Hinged and Forbidden Love were the first 2 out. Halal's going forward into a very handy roller, and Animo quickly improving, sliding into 4th on the inside of Mwanga. Couple further back to Profondo from Benno Stockman. 2 off to Ice Bath, and Fangirl will settle back last. Halal boots through on the inside of Forbidden Love. 1,000 metres to go, and Halal's taking control by a half length to Forbidden Love. 2 lengths to Hinge third, then came Animo. Profondo caught a bit deep on the outside of Mwanga. Further back to Ice Bath and Benno from Stockman, and Fangirl 8 lengths off the leaders last of all. So it's Halal trying to stack them up by a half length to Forbidden Love. 2 lengths in third is Hinged. Animo a very handy 4th. Profondo's been 3 wide from the start. Then came Benno from Mwanga, last year's winner, a bit cluttered up coming to the bend, and Verry starting to ride the stallion up. Ice Bath the outside, and Fangirl is last, turning for home, and Halal swings in front narrowly from Forbidden Love. McDonald's got no alternative but to go back to the inside, and Animo, and Profondo strides up with a big run on the outside. It's on now. Animo moved up on the inside to join Profondo, and they're broken clear. It's Animo in front from Profondo. Fangirl late on the scene, but Animo's drawn clear, and there's another Group 1 success. Animo won the Winx Stakes by 2 lengths. Fangirl second, Profondo third. Benno finished off hard from Hint, and then came Halal from Ice Bath, Stockman, Forbidden Love, and Mwanga was one of the last to finish.
Well, that is a very special achievement. He now becomes a Group 1 winner at 2, 3 and 4. The second horse to do it this century. He's in a league of his own. Animo, James McDonald and James Cummings have gone back to the inside. He had no...
He's a proper horse, isn't he? But it's just a great result for the team, and I'm a bit surprised. I'm upset about it, but he just means a lot to us, and it's a pleasure for us to have a horse as good as this back at 4. You know, got a great team around us that we say it all the time, but his value, his reputation, it's Group 1 win number 4, and you know, you can't help but feel like, you know, he's well and truly stamped himself as the horse to beat in anything he runs in this preparation.
It's so significant, isn't it? Ray pointed out in the Telegraph this morning that the last horse to win at 2, 3 and 4, a Group 1 was Show a Heart, and prior to that was Octagonal. And that sort of puts things into perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, like, you know, without an international horse, this horse might have won a Cox Plate, a Caulfield Guineas, draws a gate and a slipper. He's won a slipper, you know, far out. Like, name me a colt that's not far off going to stud that's done that. So he's just he's like our dancing brave, you know. He's like a pretty special horse to have him work.
When do we see him again?
But a terrific race. A terrific horse that won the race, and some real good horses behind them, Al.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Were that he was being a lad, and he's racing as a 4-year-old. Now let's go to the replay of the race. Picking up on the home term, Halal leads from Forbidden Love. Across the line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all 4-year-olds. Animo behind the leader.
Right the stallion up, Ice Bath the outside, and Fangirl is last, turning for home. And Halal swings in front narrowly from Profondo, and they're broken clear. It's Animo in front from Profondo. Fangirl late on the scene, but Animo's drawn clear, and there's another Group 1 success. Animo won the Winx Stakes by 2 lengths.
The first entire since Show a Heart and Octagonal to win a Group 1 at 2, 3 and 4. There have been others. Mentality as a gelding did it. Yep. Forensics did it. But for a stallion, this is a big deal.
It's a big deal, and it's a big call. They don't like to take any risks with these colts that are already proven. But he had to train on this horse. He had to train on. They were very brave, and I'm hoping, you know, well, they've already got the prize, but there might be more. He was always in control. Everything went according to Skiffable. Fangirl, unbelievable. She is a real Epsom chance. The tempo and the setup didn't suit her. That's a great return from her. All these horses behind, Profondo, he was wide, no cover, pulling, not adapting to the tempo of the race, and he was very, very good. He's a force in all the big races, and he could even be a threat to Animo in one of these races. And Halal went better, and everyone saw Benno. He's just a lovely stayer in the making, isn't he? He's a Metrop horse, maybe.
Huey didn't even...
Dare I say it, I think he's definitely got better from 3 to 4, which obviously some can and some don't, but this horse, different horse. He's a lot more alert. He's not so babyish now. He's putting it all together. That was a great performance of a horse that's just obviously improving. He will only get better as he gets on as well, so I don't have enough words to say about him in terms of speak highly enough of him, because he's just an absolute beautiful horse, and lucky to strap myself to him.
It was wrapped, and good first up run.
George Main would line up with this market. Animo obviously clear favourite. Now Zaki will trial on Monday at Hawkesbury. What was the story with Duas yesterday? She was, from the steward's report, Mwanga, Tommy Berry said he requires uninterrupted running to build momentum into its races. He said that after being placed under pressure on the home turn when Ice Bath improved to his outside, he became held up on the heels, and as a result he couldn't test Mwanga.
I think he's more of a colt than Animo, honestly.
Oh yeah, his behaviour yesterday was the most...
Pens for him on that run. Just some other good runs in the race. I thought Hinged was very good.
Yeah.
When they sprinted, they left her, and you look at her climbing their heels late. She's an Epsom chance as well.
I think she got hampered a bit too.
No better.
Beautiful. Good luck.
Cheers, Hal.
One of our features is up next, the up-and-coming stakes, sponsored by Bowman's.
Pittsburgh at 13, Charlatan at 13, Ringmaster. I agree with the sentiments on Golden Mile, a Ballarat.
Massive deductions, I think, in the betting there with one of the favourites.
Frustrating day continues for W Pike.
Conqueror, who read at the gates and became cast a late withdrawal, and they're off and racing now, and Kaboo hit the gates running, and Kaboo's going to lead rather comfortably here from Basquiat quickly on the scene with Williamsburg, Ringmaster right there on the mile last of all, and Conqueror late scratching in the gates. So Kaboo leads approaching the bend in the up-and-coming stakes, 600 metres to run by a length on Voldemort. Ringmaster third, a half the outside to Basquiat. Then came Williamsburg from Charlatan, Golden Mile, and Lethal Thoughts last of all. So Kaboo swings in front, staying well off the fence by a length and a half on Voldemort. Basquiat's running on. Ringmaster back to the inside, and then came Charlatan. It's Kaboo at the 250, 3 lengths clear from Basquiat. Then came Golden Mile, and further back to Charlatan. But Kaboo's well clear inside the last 100 metres, and Kaboo's going to win the up-and-coming stakes by a big margin. Golden Mile second, Basquiat third, followed by Ringmaster. Then came Lethal Thoughts from Charlatan, Voldemort, and Williamsburg was last in.
I think Gay Waterhouse, in fact I know, she's won 6 of these now, up and coming, so that's number 6, absolutely love him. I've had enough money, I'd buy a couple of colts by Morris. I think he's about as big a stallion as you can get. Golden Mile was terrific. The winner was Rock.
Right, you know, you can just see Gay sitting back in the lounge rooms there and say, that's how you ride my horses.
It was 1,300, and Duff, you were very keen on Kaboo. You were expecting something like this, maybe not the width of the victory, but how he did it.
Yeah, it was you know, I won't say it was a smart ride, but that you expected that to happen with the stable and patterns in general, and then the setup where he was fit. So Regan knew he was on a fit horse against first up horses. So you got to. It's just a perfect ride. He went out hard, got a 300-metre rest, and then pressed the button again, and the first up horse's wheels are spinning. So that's exactly how it turned out. It doesn't happen to script all the time, but it did there. And he's still learning this horse. He's got the high head carriage. And he does things. Golden Mile had only won a Ballarat maiden last prep, but you knew they had an opinion of him.
He's the horse I want to follow.
Yeah.
Out of the entire meeting.
Really?
I was really taken by him. I think his stern's really steady.
One for the each-way punters.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
OK, the runners are in the yard for the San Domenico Stakes before we move on to the...
And they're off and racing. Zuccarino handled the start very well off the inside. Swiss Exile and Cannonball fast into stride. Rise of the Masses pushing forward as well. Then came Sweet Ride. Further back to Neptuno on the inside of Best of Bordeaux. Is caught a bit deep, Best of Bordeaux, and pretty keen as well. They've gapped the red ball, had too much speed for them. Shows the way from Swiss Exile. Then came Rise of the Masses. Zuccarino getting a good run the fence. Followed by Sweet Ride. Best of Bordeaux, the favourite 3 wide with cover. Followed by Neptuno, then came Promito, Buenos Notches, and Spacewalk is last as they straighten up now, and it's Cannonball in front from Swiss Exile, 2 lengths away to Sweet Ride, then came Rise of the Masses, Best of Bordeaux, and Spacewalk down the outside, Sweet Ride and Swiss Exile, Spacewalk went into lane again, and Neptuno's getting the gap, it's Sweet Ride just in front, Sweet Ride from Swiss Exile, then came Neptuno and Spacewalk, and Sweet Ride causes an upset in the San Domenico, won it by 2 lengths to Neptuno and Swiss Exile, followed by Best of Bordeaux, no luck in the run, followed by Promito hitting the line well, together with Buenos Notches, Spacewalk, then Rise of the Masses and Zuccarino.
Well, that's one way of... And burst in a big, big way. Actually, he'd probably be one of the first horses I would have put the pen through. I thought he was, you know, he's just a... Well, I said he was 11.
Bring you Annabelle Neesham and Chad Schofield when we return with one to go. A hot pot in the last shades of rose.
What you see is what you get with him. He's a little racy colt, and you would have thought, oh, geez, a couple of these have grown up around him, and looking at his run in the Rosebud, you would have thought, oh, I don't know whether he can improve off that, but he did, and he's just, he was very good. Swiss Exile's got to learn how to race. He's just so aggressive, that horse, but he's obviously got talent, and there was plenty of support support for him yesterday. Spacewalk did his thing, loomed up, run about. So, yeah, jury's a little out with him as well. The well-fancied Zuccarino, he had to go and have a scope, and they found some stuff down in his throat, so maybe a...
74 in 1989. $200,000 set weights plus penalties for the 3-year-olds. The 34th running, it's been over 1,200.
At Sandown, visually impressive, but he backed it up on the clock. Now, so that
kind of negative with the favourite. Into the red now. They've bet $1.90, $1.95 settling up. Jamie Carr shooting for a race-to-race double here on Aft Cabin, the heavily backed favourite. OK, we're holding more money on a Zambogini than we are on Jacquinot, and they are $7.50 each of two. So just holding it.
Sets racing now. Aft Cabin away cleanly. Zambogini, Dormier jumped away well with Lincoln Square. Squad isn't too far off the action either. They were followed next by Man in the Mirror, He's Heaven, and Aft Cabin midfield the fence. And then came Super Set. Zambogini's drifting back, passed by Maximilius. And then came Jacquinot and Crosswinds from Tijuana. And Atlantis and Dormier. A length and a half, He's Heaven, who's 3 wide in 4th place. Aft Cabin's between horses in 5th, and Maximilius the inside. A length and a half away behind the Man in the Mirror. Then Jacquinot, Super Set, Tijuana, well back Zambogini, Atlantis Tycoon and Crosswinds. They come to the turn. 350 metres to go. And it's Squad from Dormier, Lincoln Square. Then He's Heaven. Now Aft Cabin's trying to get a run. It's just about through now. And then came Jacquinot. Squad, 200 metres to go. Aft Cabin's out. He's Heaven. And here's Jacquinot down the middle. Aft Cabin joined and headed by Jacquinot. 100 to go. Jacquinot moves up, takes the lead, storms away. Jacquinot by 2 lengths. Aft Cabin, photo third, Tijuana, He's Heaven. Then Atlantis Tycoon and Squad from Super Set. Next to finish in the race, Crosswinds and Zambogini. A gap to Dormier, Man in the Mirror, Lincoln Square, and Maximilius at the end.
For the 5th time in the last 7 editions of the McNeil, it's a returning horse that wins. And Jacquinot gives us everything we were expecting of this horse 8 to 10 months ago as a 2-year-old. He was jaw-droppingly good on Boxing Day last year on debut. That led him to be favourite in a Blue Diamond where he was posted wide, but really gallant when third to Dormier. And he was the horse today to drop on Aft Cabin, who had a little bit of work to do.
Jacquinot and the McNeil giving the Price Kent stable their 2nd win in the race in the last 3 years. And Ben, this was a performance of a horse who's shown adeptness at Caulfield. That Boxing Day win on debut last year still sticks in the mind, but this was a win of a horse who's developed well through the winter.
Yeah, we spoke about how we all thought he was going to be the 3-year-old out of the Blue Diamond, and then a few of us jumped off yesterday. But let's have a look at how this race worked out. Ability to put himself somewhere in the race anyway, not completely out the back.
Yeah, just big downfall last preparation, but Damien's he's an awfully hard worker, Damien. We really like using him, and he did a great job yesterday. Bit of a game of cat and mouse here with the favourite, but we were the cat, and we chased hard, and yeah, I love his length of stride. He really does lengthen nicely here late.
200 metres to go. Aft Cabin's out. He's Heaven, and here's Jacquinot down the middle. Aft Cabin joined and headed by Jacquinot. 100 to go. Jacquinot moves up, takes the lead, storms away. Jacquinot by 2 lengths. Aft Cabin, photo third, Tijuana, He's Heaven. Then Atlantis Tycoon and
First campaign for him, Michael, was either you drew wide and you probably had your hands in your head, or you drew inside and he'd be cluttered up. But it was the first time yesterday we saw him actually get an ounce of luck.
Yeah, it was nice to see. And I said earlier, in the Blue Diamond, he was the horse who was ribby, leggy, with scope. His dam is by Piero. He's from the family of Elation, Inference, Dragon Leap. So really keen to see him over a bit further.
What's his pathway look like from here?
Disappointing was the comment from Mark Zahra in relation to the return run of the Blue Diamond winner in Dormier. Where's he at?
Yeah, well I suppose as a rule, I'm thinking that Blue Diamond form is not necessarily going to measure up. Jacquinot defied that, but he was always the one that had that scope for improvement. I suppose we need to talk about Aft Cabin scope for improvement. I suppose we need to talk about Aft Cabin too. Just think 1400 back to 1200 held up. I'm not going to be too harsh on him. I think he's going to be much better suited when he gets to 1600. He's still on track for a Guineas.
It's a really was maybe affected by that, and a new lot will come through and really stamp their mark early in this 3-year-old season. Do you agree with that theory?
Big time.
Yeah.
I think the Kumul winner will come from left of field, like a horse like Duel, or hopefully What You Need. One of us would be nice, Micho. Buse would be another one. So
Handicap, big news coming through. We have a new favourite, Jacquino, 16 into sixes, replacing Aft Cabin, $4 out to $9. Back to Caulfield, first leg of the quaddie. Let's rip into this for a sprinting field. Star Patrol now takes over as favourite. He's had a nice freshen up after running into passive aggressive last start. $3.70. As we get closer to jump, apart from Shooting for Gold, that serious suspect form tightens up into $9. And
away they go. And in the boat clearly beat them out. With the move and also Generation. Star Patrol not too far away with Little Stevie, and then came along the inside Shooting for Gold, and also with those horses as in the boat uses plenty of the track at the moment. Red gives its way to third from the move, Star Patrol and Shooting for Gold. 2 lengths Little Stevie, Bless Her, not an option. Curran, Fortunate Kisses last of all. In the boat and Generation together. 450 metres to go, approaching the corner. A length and a half, Red Can Man, Star Patrol, the big names all up there. They were followed by the move at the 300 metres. Back behind them, Shooting for Gold, and then came Little Stevie. It's Generation, 250 metres to go, just in front of in the boat. Then Red Can Man, who's full bore. Shooting for Gold running on, then Star Patrol. Generation, 125 out. Shooting for Gold is trying to pick it up. Generation, Shooting for Gold. Shooting for Gold. Generation digs in. Shooting for Gold has bowled them over. Beat Generation. Star Patrol for third, I'd say, followed by Curran, who was flashing home. Then in the boat, Red Can Man, not an option. Fortunate Kiss, the move, Little Stevie, and Bless Her has finished at the tail of the field.
One for the visitors, and that Queensland winter fitness that is so often, particularly in recent seasons, having an impact on the Melbourne Spring, bears fruit here with Shooting for Gold, who'd come through races like the Morton Cup behind Baller, the Healy behind One Diva before running third to Serious Suspect in a pretty solid effort up the straight. And Damien Lane's
with the earmuffs on, so that bodes well for her. And Zuzarella, she has come back in exceptional order. She's a bigger, stronger, more...
On the favourite earlier today into the red, $1.95. We're now back out to $2.40, $2.35 as I talk to you. So a little spread of money outside of the favourite here. You're getting a better price if you want to back passive aggressive. Might wait for another couple of minutes here. Chain of Lightning is one of those runners that has been well supported with Sportsbet against the favourite. $7 into $5.50. Isotopes.
Ready, gates crash, and away they go. Passive aggressive away, okay. Flying Mascot was clearly the best out with Jump the Broom, the outside. Passive aggressive is going to drive through and dispute the lead now. And Hellfest not far away the inner, but passive aggressive. It looked equal class. Throntari, Graceful Girl, and Terramere is last of all. 500 metres to go. It's passive aggressive from Flying Mascot, Hellfest. Then Jump the Broom, Pride of Jenny. Further back, Kiss on All Four Cheeks to the turn from Chain of Lightning. Then Zuzarella, Isotope, She's All Class, and further back, Throntari, Terramere, Graceful Girl. Passive aggressive held together. 250 metres to go. Given her head. 2 lengths, Flying Mascot, Chain of Lightning down the outside from Kiss on All Four Cheeks. Passive aggressive. 150 to go, but Chain of Lightning's coming at her. Passive aggressive grabbed by Chain of Lightning, who goes on by. And Chain of Lightning won it from flashing home. She's All Class, a photo third. Kiss on All Four Cheeks, or passive aggressive, who just didn't quite put them away. And then came Flying Mascot, Pride of Jenny, Zuzarella, Isotope, and Terramere from Thront.
Peter Moody dominated the Cochrane. He won it 3 times between 2003 and 2011. His second incarnation as a trainer. He's brought Chain of Lightning and those famous Ramsey Pastoral Silks out of provincial New South Wales. Wins, great wins as they were at Inverell and Armidale. Chain of Lightning now 5 for 5 in her career, 3 for 3 in Victoria. She's gone Caulfield, Flemington, back to Caulfield. Now some all-important black type, but there might be more beckoning. So the 2 mares that came into the race, 4 from 4 in their career. It was the underrated one from a market perspective in Chain of Lightning, who gets the job done. Passive aggressive, looked perhaps ready to put the race away some 250 metres out, but she was claimed. She's All Class. There was
move off the run, but she looks better than what she did when she won the Sangster. I thought she looked incredibly focused in the yard. There's dapples out in her coat. She's very well prepared for this fresh. It would not surprise me.
It's an edition of the Memsey, heaving with quality. 8 Group 1 winners, the 10th edition at the highest level. Ben Ascari, your top 4.
You know, without Alligator Blood off the map, I think you can be in behind the leaders. Some residual fitness from the...
It's a great edition this year. Look, I'm really looking forward to it. A number of them could
proved victorious. But I'm just so excited to see Western Empire. Look, who knows how good he'll be. But
Elleegant was the horse that I wanted to see in the mounting yard today, and he has not disappointed. He's just a horse that does everything right. He's switched on. He's
$5 each or two. You can cut the atmosphere of the chainsaw here. Punters are rallying around the top two in the market, and there's been Snap Dancer that has had great support late too, and looking like a market mover, would you believe, placed twice at 1,400 metres. But Alligator Blood and Western Empire, there was only half a point between them when we opened markets. And
ready for the Memsey, set to go, and away they go. And beginning well was Alligator Blood, but Snap Dancer fired out and led to Fane Lightsaber in the early stages. They were followed by Western Empire, and out deeper on the course, pouring it on as Call Sign Mav. For the backers, Dragon Leap, one off the fence, and Elephant around it. Nonconformist midfield. Then I'm Thunderstruck Cascadian. Well backers, Zayrek, and they were followed next by Elation, who's back to second last, and Duis at the end of the field. 950 out, Snap Dancer in front of Call Sign Mav. Lightsaber third, the inside, and Western Empire has been able to slot across, one off the fence in fourth place. A lovely bit of riding, and they were followed by Tafane, sixth on the outside of Alligator Blood. Then came Elephant, Dragon Leap, Nonconformist, I'm Thunderstruck from Cascadian, Elation. Well back as Zayrek, and Duis is last. So with 500 metres to go, Snap Dancer is the leader in the $1 million Memsey by 3/4 of a length to Call Sign Mav. Western Empire peels three wide. Lightsaber the inside, then Tafane. Alligator Blood is tracking up behind those, then Dragon Leap, and I'm Thunderstruck to the outside. Snap Dancer went for home though. 200 metres to go, 2.5 lengths in front of Western Empire. Call Sign Mav, I'm Thunderstruck, and Dragon Leap, but Snap Dancer, 100 metres to go, still clear. I'm Thunderstruck wearing it down. Snap Dancer needs the line, but won it. Snap Dancer a neck, I'm Thunderstruck, Cascadian for fourth. A photo, Western Empire or Dragon Leap. Then came Alligator Blood, Call Sign Mav, Nonconformist, Elephant, Lightsaber. Well back in the field, Tafane, Zayrek, Duis, and Elation a long way back.
The Caulfield mounting yard for the last 200 metres was resembling a mosh pit. Brad Spicer and his group of owners in Snap Dancer have been on the ride of their lives right throughout the year. It started with her win in the Fillies and Mares Magic Millions under the warm Queensland sun in mid-January, and since then she's basically swept all before her, apart from a forgivable run in what was one of the more bizarre new markets we've seen possible, winning a Triscay, a Sangster, and just claimed in the shadows by Star Tontes in a Tats Tiara. Again, you put it in inverted commas, residual fitness from Queensland counts. She'd run on the 25th of June in that Group 1 for the mares. Here she's beaten all of them, and she puts her name alongside Atlantic Jewel as the only mare to win the Memsey since it's been a Group 1. And Ethan Brown's been the man on the trajectory with her. What an upward spiral it's been.
Memsey Stakes, 1,400 metres at weight for age, worth $1 million, and Snap Dancer, as we mentioned, joined Atlantic Jewel as the only mares to win this race since it's been a Group 1 in the last 10 years. The 26th Group 1 for Kieran Maher, the 16th together with Dave Eustace. It was a superb performance, Ben, and again we see a race-fit horse win this race for the 6th straight year.
Yeah, and the leader. So Ethan Brown getting some lovely control here with Snap Dancer. Call Sign Mav pushing forward. I suppose the early surprise, Western Empire ridden really aggressively, gets a position, able to slot in. So I was probably a little surprised Western Empire's ahead of both Tafane and Alligator Blood in the run. Elation cost himself at the start. He ended up a long way back after beginning a little slowly. Keep an eye on I'm Thunderstruck over the concluding stages. He's about 5th last there in the OTI colours. He was really strong. Inside of him, Cascadian finishes off really well. Even Duet, who was last in the run, has got home in the quickest last 200 of the race. But at this stage, when Ethan Brown's sitting pretty, she was going to be hard to beat.
Inside, then Tafane. Alligator Blood is tracking up behind those, then Dragon Leap, and I'm Thunderstruck to the outside. Snap Dancer went for home though. 200 metres to go, 2.5 lengths in front of Western Empire. Call Sign Mav, I'm Thunderstruck, and Dragon Leap, but Snap Dancer, 100 metres to go, still clear. I'm Thunderstruck wearing it down. Snap Dancer needs the line, but won it. Snap Dancer a neck, I'm Thunderstruck.
What an incredible year Snap Dancer has had. The man who's been part of the journey has been.
Every opportunity in the run, you'll see I'm Thunderstruck there. 5th last on the outside in that 3-wide running line. It wasn't a day that we saw a huge amount of horses make that wide sweeping run, and he's run really, really well considering, I think. So Snap Dancer, terrific, great ride, Ethan Brown, given absolutely every opportunity. Alligator Blood didn't have a lot of luck at a crucial stage on the turn. Was he going well enough to be in the finish? I guess we'll never know, but he was held up at a crucial stage behind horses not taking him anywhere. But well done to the winner, great ride, good placement. I think out of the race heading forward, that's what we all want to know going forward. The one that I really want to rubber stamp is I'm Thunderstruck, and we'll speak to Michael Kent Jr. about him shortly, but he just looks the Makybe Diva horse going forward. He's such a better horse on a big track at Flemington as opposed to Caulfield, so he's the one I want to take out of the race. Big pass mark for Due. Yeah, 1400 is well short of her best. Wait for her to get to 2000. She was good. Cascadian was really good again, runs up to the trial. Got to talk to Michael Kent Jr. about Elation too. Don't know what to make of that. He seemingly had some excuses, but there was a big bubble burst there. And
there's a good story and a not so good story. We've got some vision of your runners this morning that you've been good enough to...
Yes, but I really do believe we're going better this preparation. And, you know, when a horse comes back first up and runs like...
So what happened and what's next for Elation?
I think from the moment he jumped out of the barriers, he didn't look like he was there for Jamie. He was in an awful spot to be. I think on the day, not many horses were able to sit that far back and loop them. You had to sort of get that run where you stayed tucked in, then came out. But regardless, he went below par. I mean, Jamie has said to us a couple of times she thinks he could be the best horse she's ever ridden. It's a big comment to say. And yesterday was well below par. So we'll go over him with a fine-tooth comb. He's good this morning.
Great to have him back.
Lovely, it is. Yeah, no, we're very excited. Thank you.
Runners are in the yard for the first of our big ones today. This is the Southern Cross Group Concord Stakes. Firstly, though, an important...
He's a ripper horse. We all know that. He's had 2 trials. He's a winning machine. He handles all conditions. He still haven't got wet track form here, but Andermatt is dead set proven, and his trial was airborne. Eduardo, no knock on him whatsoever. He should tag Malkovich here. He's going to give...
And he's $1.85 at his worst today to be $2.60 now. And I don't think it stopped there. $2 now, that 270 is not even, that's not even top odds. So, you know, the race to get him out, I think they'll be 280 each or 2 in a minute.
Concord Andermatt backed off the map to beat Eduardo. We're all set. Now over the 1,000, and Eduardo jumped brilliantly, lands about a length in front, but Malkovich is quickly zipping up on the inside. It's Eduardo being tackled by Malkovich now, with Zapateo slotting in on the outside of Ethelric, 2 lengths away to Andermatt. Length and a half, Handle the True from Rocketing By, and Shelby 66 is last. Malkovich shows the way at the 600 metres, only a half length on Eduardo, a length and a half then to Ethelric on the inside of Zapateo, 2 further back to the plunge horse Andermatt as they turn for home, and it's Malkovich at a control pace from Eduardo, who's breathing down his neck at the 350. 3 lengths away to Zapateo from Ethelric, and Andermatt's got a big job to do doing the chasing wide out. Nash said go on Eduardo, and the 9-year-old dashes to the lead and dashes clearly at the 175. Eduardo's well clear from Ethelric. There's no Andermatt, but Eduardo at the succulent odds of $2.80 goes on to win the Concord Stakes, beats Ethelric. Camera third, Handle the Truth and Andermatt, followed by Malkovich. Further back, Zapateo, Shelby 66 and Rocketing By.
Gee, if only they ran a little bit later, we would have got a better price. Eduardo, one of the most popular horses in the land. You can't beat class. You can't gamble against class. He's on the road to the Everest yet again.
Fancied. He would have got 280 there at the finish if you kept your powder dry. Not many did, because he's too popular. They all want to get on him, and he always pays a dividend. She was
6. Handle the Truth, and 8 Andermatt after the Concord.
But the wet tracks had just about worn me down, honestly. I read it wrong. I thought it might be down the outside there yesterday, which you can get it wrong in this business. That's what they say, that's racing. But we're going to be careful. We can't be having race meetings like this with rails out that far. I know we got big
at his next start, because Nasruella, who was on board yesterday, winning the Concord Stakes brilliantly on Eduardo, he's now suspended, so he can't ride Eduardo in the shorts. Joe Pride hasn't made up his mind. He'll do that closer to the date. He's probably got an idea in his mind right now, but he's keeping his cards close to his chest. Look at him go.
Yeah, look, what a ripper he is. was an absolute ripper, and he rode the speed here and he accelerated, so he left them no hope. A great return. He's been beautifully handled, and just the market really took him on late here. They were thinking, why?
I don't at the end of that race.
Yep, but he did beat them well, and he did have 60.5 kilos.
Yeah,
and he did run fast time actually.
Right up until the race itself, how short can he get? I mean, if he came out and blew them away in the shorts, he's obviously going to be shorter than $2.80. Eduardo trimmed up to $8. Mazu, another one going to the Darley Furious Stakes, still officially a 9. We haven't sort of got into the 10 yet, but you can guarantee we're as close as we ever were during the day. We've had a lot of...
last week, she's got good form at home. We know she can handle a heavy 10, and I think it all...
Is about a third of it if you fix things early. Paris Dior at $3.10. She's Extreme at $3.80. North Star Lass at $5. Willinga Beast at $8 has trimmed in. I'd completely ignore that.
For these horses who have been good 2-year-olds to have taken the next step into their 3-year-old career.
It's coming in over that back straight now.
This is scattering the crowd. They're off and racing now with the rain falling. And Willinga Beast was one of the first into stride from Wave Rider Boy and North Star Lasses burrowing through on the inside. Just in front of Madame Pommery. Then came Wingardium, Paris Door, 7 Vales. She's Extreme will settle second last, and Russian is not giving up the fence. Wave Rider Boy holding third. Wingardium slides along the rails going to fourth. In advance of 7 Vales. Then came Paris Door. Further back to She's Extreme on the inside of Madame Pommery, and 2.5 lengths away to Russian Conquest. 550 metres to run. North Star Lass and Willinga Beast. They go toe-to-toe coming around the corner. 7 Vales wobbled a little bit there. Wingardium in third. Paris Dior's got plenty of room to go through, and a good gap back to She's Extreme. 300 metres to run. Willinga Beast and North Star Lass slogging it out for the time being. 2 lengths away to Paris Door, 7 Vales. She's Extreme, 5 off them, getting to the outside. Willinga Beast heads off. North Star Lass, 3 off to Paris Dior. Willinga Beast in front, dourly. It's Willinga Beast from North Star Lass is coming back the inside. Willinga Beast, North Star Lass, head in head they go to the wire, and North Star Lass off the canvas came back to win the Furious Stakes. Toughed it out from Willinga Beast. A gap back to She's Extreme third in front of Paris Dior. Then Russian Conquest, 7 Vales, Madame Pommery, Wingardium, and a long gap back to Wave Rider Boy last in.
Well, has North Star Lass fought back to win the Darley Furious Stakes, or has Willinga Beast just wanted a little bit more ground to try and catch her back? And when they hit the line, I think she has. North Star Lass has come back to beat Willinga Beast and win the Darley Furious Stakes.
Yeah, well, what do you want to start? Chop this track up by now on the inside. It doesn't matter.
Very, very, very heavy conditions we're dealing with. 2015, more strawberries in 2010, a series. When we pick them up, North Star Lass and Willinga Beast are about to stage a big struggle down the home straight.
Yeah, we're confident we're going to learn more. We'll get more answers out of these 3-year-old fillies yesterday. I'm not sure we did. The one we most wanted to see in secret had to be scratched because of the pattern and probably a little bit too much rain. But I was waiting for this filly third up at the 1400, North Star Lass, but it was a really good, tough fighting win from her. Willinga Beast, I suppose there was an opportunity for her to probably even clear that filly if she wanted to, so I don't know if that made a difference, but she didn't throw it away at all. And then you just got to be forgiving, don't you? I thought She's Extreme was one of the better runs of the day.
Yeah, so did I. Worst part of the track closed off really well. I wanted to see how she'd come back, and obviously not ideal circumstances resuming on this heavy track, but I thought she ran an enormous race.
Yeah, and she should come on from...
bring her into the race.
Beautiful. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
The GPI Tramway Stakes, 1400, it's a Group 2. Now, the scratchings are...
It's race day. That's your typical aggressive Zaki. Once the jockey gets on, he'll start his prance up. Nothing to worry about. He's at a beautiful grounding. He's a weight-for-age star.
Very often, Emily handled the start nicely wide out. Converge is pretty prominent as well. And showing speed now is Zaki whipping up underneath Nimmerly and is only a head away. They're followed then by Converge getting to third in front of Profondo. Young Yonkers. A gap. Ice Bath is the last one. It's the short price favourite Zaki in front. Last year's winner. A half length clear to Nimali. Then came Profondo on a stalking roller. A length and a half further back to Converse, the round McGuinness winner on the outside of Character. And then Yonkers is trying to keep Ice Bath in a pocket as they come to the corner. And it's Zaki in front under a good grip from McDonald. Leads the way by a half length to Nimali. A length and a half then to Profondo. A couple further back then to Conversion Character as they come up the rise. And Nimali trying to worry the favourite Zaki out of it. Nimali pushed on. Now McDonald gets busy on Zaki on the inside and they're 2 lengths clear from Profondo. Zaki starting to go through his gears now, the 8-year-old. He put paid to Nimali. Ice Bath with a big run late, but it's Zaki clearing the tramway and he goes back to back. Zaki by 2.5 to Ice Bath. Nimali third, Profondo Every Hope fourth. Further back to Yonkers, Converge. Really weakened out in the straight, Converge, and Character was last in.
He's too good for them. He's the best horse in that race, Zaki, and he shows them what it's all about. 190 and 4. Profondo back in 4th spot. Zaki. This is James McDonald's big dilemma coming up.
It is.
He's the front-running champ, Zaki, who was always in control.
Yeah, he was. He just floated at stages through this race, which he can do, and I thought, oh, what's going on here? But what I loved this win more than a lot. Look at him when he pulls the whip through the other hand, and I think Zaki's having a lend of him, and he hasn't give him. That's the first one he give him there around the tail, and he lengthens, and he starts to concentrate, and when he does just flick here, he's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. We've got to realise this race was 1,400 metres, and there was a little query on him being so sharp because he's had a good grounding, and when these horses have it
for a month,
he has. So I want to be very forgiving for Profondo, considering circumstances on the wet, and he was a question mark. We don't know if he just doesn't handle the wet, but he still went okay. Converges is the one that the jury's out on. We want to have another better race, and probably the patterns against the back marker like Ice Bath there.
Was run of the day though, one of the runs of the day, Ice Bath, when I sort of went back and watched.
Yeah, it was a good run.
Ran on, yeah.
It was a good run, but that's her strengths, those real heavy tracks.
Yeah.
We've seen that in the past.
She's won.
Royal Ascot winners, won 2 out of 4 in Australia. If he wins brilliantly today or runs very well, he's going to be up the top of the Caulfield Cup markets, I reckon. Does he?
I'll take over. Surefire is our favourite and has been pretty well supported, but I think punters really struggling. You need to be with an on-speed runner, but who is it? Entente is the outsider in the field, probably goes forward. Surefire, maybe they take a punt from 11. Numerian's led but over further. Knight's Orders led but over further in the past. It's been a big firmer, so even post-deductions, you're talking high 30s, about $38 into $7, but there's hardly a Zach with tab, so there must be other reasons for that. Benno, $7.
Gates are back there, off and racing. There's a terrific line out. Knight's Order was one of the first into stride. Going forward is Kukaracha, no compromise handy, and Entente caught pretty deep rolling forward. They're followed then by Numerian on the inside of Crystal Pegasus. Back in the field, Benno from Stockman. Elleegant and the favourite Surefire from the wide gate has been eased back to the tail of Elleegant from Stockman. And last of all is Surefire moving into a 3-wide position now looking for some cover. Down the side of the 800 metres and the Sydney Cup winner makes the running here, Knight's Order. Out by a length to Entente. 2 further back to No Compromise and a forward roll from Kukaracha. Then came Numerian. Further back to Crystal Pegasus. Benno is creeping into the race deeper out. Surefire getting onto his back, being reined along a bit, followed by Elleegant and Stockman in a tricky spot last. Knight's Order really upping the tempo, and Clark's gone for home, turning into the straight. It's Knight's Order racing 4 lengths clear from No Compromise, knuckling down in second. Numerian gets going with a good run. Benno to the outside, 2.50 to go. Knight's Order 2 lengths clear from Numerian and No Compromise, grinding away. Knight's Order with 1.50 to go, still a length and a half clear from Numerian and No Compromise. It's Knight's Order, the Sydney Cup winner, is going all the way here in the Chelmsford Stakes. Knight's Order won it by a length to Numerian. No Compromise third. Benno got home well into fourth. A good gap back to Stockman, Elleegant, Crystal Pegasus, Kukaracha. Surefire never a factor today, and Entente went toe-to-toe with the winner, has finished a long last.
There he is, the Sydney Cup winner, first up in the Group 2 Chelmsford, and he runs them off their feet. Number 3, Knight's Order.
Everything back like this today, they ran it because he got into a $6.50 chance or $7 chance there late. He was good first up in the Marion. Good tactics along the inside again there for...
Knight's Order went to the front and wins the Chelmsford once again for Gain Adrian.
Another perfect front-running ride by Tim Clark, I must say. The closer we got to this race, the better chance he got from 2 days out, this horse. So he was, I think he opened in $51 on Wednesday. Obviously, those high-profile scratchings. But he's a beauty. To resume from a Sydney Cup to win this is an excellent performance. And just style, fitness, pattern. It's all about, you know, the way they train their horses, isn't it? And then you win more races than you lose with a racing style like that. It was great. The Marion, I reckon he's got some improvement up the sleeve. No compromise. He's just a very good, honest horse. This is the run of the day by a long way. Benno.
Little Benno.
That's twice now. No, so that's good. He's had 2 big runs, and he is right on target for what's looking to be a very, very good Metropolitan.
Yep.
John O'Shea said he's a...
Well, there hasn't been a great deal happening, to be honest, all through betting. We've got Coolangatta as our $2.35 favourite. She got out to $2.40 not too long ago, and now back into that $2.35. In the Congo has been rock solid at that $5
She looks ready to go. I like the fact that she had a couple of strappers on her. She went down with the pony.
They just didn't quite know who's come back, who's ready to perform 1,000 metres at this Group 2 Makybe Stakes. Well, that's sort of transferred because she was $6.50 not too long ago, and now she's into $6 again. Rothfire at $6.50.
In the Congo they're set and away they go, and Semyon jumped well with Rothfire, and in the Congo Coolangatta away really fast as well as right up there in the top 4. Zoustyle gets a dig in the ribs, it's going to drive through, then away game 5 lengths the Inferno. Zoustyle, Coolangatta together after 300. They're a length and a quarter Rothfire, and then came away game in the Congo Semyon, 2.5 lengths the Inferno. Through the gap, 550 metres to go. Zoustyle led Coolangatta by a neck. They're a length and 3/4 Rothfire, third the outside of away game. Then in the Congo, next Semyon, who is niggled at before the corner, and further back in the field the Inferno. Zoustyle, and on the outside Coolangatta. They run the corner, 200 metres to go, followed by Rothfire, and next Semyon. Coolangatta lets down, takes Zoustyle, but Rothfire's a real threat. Zoustyle kicks as well, 3 across the track. Rothfire takes the lead from Zoustyle. Rothfire back. Rothfire has won it by a half length. Zoustyle, third Coolangatta from the Inferno. Semyon in the Congo, and away game was last.
What a special moment this is for Rob Heathcote and his team, who've nursed back a potential star in Rothfire. Of course, his last victory, that win in the Run to the Rose some 2 years ago, had him the hottest of favourites in the Golden Rose. He's had injury, he's been in the wilderness, he came back for a tilt perhaps at an Everest 12 months ago. He just didn't simply come up in the Premier Stakes when he was 7th of 8. He's had a 4-run campaign through the Queensland winter, and once again, that proves to be the springboard for horses to come to the early part of the Victorian spring and run so well.
Also into just the perfect spot in the early stages, tucked in right behind the speed.
Looked like that might be the case. The first surprise was Zoustyle not beginning all that well, so he really had to be revved up to find the front. And considering how close he was there at the finish, he's done a terrific job. Coolangatta, this was the query. Where does she get to? Where does Semyon, where does In the Congo get to? Will she beat them out to get that position outside of Zoustyle? There's Rothfire getting the nice run just in behind. In the Congo, 3 wide, no cover. Away game in a nice little spot, loomed up into the race, pulled up with atrial fibrillation, I think it might have been, or cardiac arrhythmia, so we can be forgiving of her performance. The Inferno, long way back, but got home in some of the faster splits of the meeting.
Zoustyle, and on the outside Coolangatta. They run the corner, 200 metres to go, followed by Rothfire, and next Semyon. Coolangatta lets down, takes Zoustyle, but Rothfire's a real threat. Zoustyle kicks as well, 3 across the track. Rothfire takes the lead from Zoustyle. Rothfire back. Rothfire has won it by a half-length Zoo Style. Third, Cool and Gutter from the Inferno.
Spot on from Matty Hill. Rothfire back. First win since the run to the Rose some 2 years ago. Rob Heathcote's made his
back to the races, let alone competing at this level and winning at, Group 2 level. And he performed so well in his last 3 Group 1s during our Winter Carnival. It's I did ask myself the question many times: could we get him back? And comfortably, I'm now comfortably assured that we have.
Congrats, enormous for all connections. Your decision to come to Melbourne and target the Moya Stakes and the Manikato, was that to try and dodge the likes of Nature Strip and Eduardo and focus?
Yeah, good question. 100% stay away from Nature Strip as much as possible. Look, and also the fact that just haven't had a lot of luck in Sydney the last 2 years. We've missed a couple of Everest runs, and to be fair, I've erred on the side of caution both times. I felt for James Kennedy when he signed.
And he thought that might have been the case with that horse that missed the kick. But the Inferno was good. We know he's better with a run under the belt, so
I thought
he might be
really Manikato for him beckons, you would think.
Yeah, even this might be a sneaky Moya chance. He ran so well in that race last year. Rothfire, he has to come into calculation now for the Moya, the Manikato. He's going to be right there now that he's back in the winner's stall. Things will get tougher. Coolangatta was not disgraced at all.
Well, that was the message, talking to Jamie Carr post her winning ride on Military Expert, that she was happy enough with the fillies.
His ratings decline from prep to prep.
Group 1 winning owner and waiting with Extremely Lucky.
It's a very open race, isn't it? This is for the Moya. Extremely Lucky is a $6 chance. Coolangatta now out to $7. Rothfire very firm in betting at $7. In the Congo, 8. Bella Nipotina was
underweight for age conditions. I'm worried others might have a better turn of foot, though, off a potentially slowly run 1,600-metre race.
Last horse to do the PB Lawrence Fee and Double was Lad of the Manor back in 2005. That's the task ahead of the 2 Mr. Brightside.
It was a great win first up in the Lawrence with improvement to come. I think he's better suited at 1,600 metres. He can roll forward. He can.
The last runner to take a look at is the resuming Inspirational Girl, the Blamey winner back in the autumn. And Danny O'Brien, after winning the race with Superstorm last year, your winner of the Fee is.
Yeah, I think it's Mr. Brightside. I think he deserves to be a short price favourite. He has the advantage of
in this mounting yard, because I think there's 2 horses that stand themselves above from the others, and one you'd be picking on looks and the other you'd be picking on their mannerisms. I've gone with Earlswood on top. I think that he's
Nicky in the yard for the Fee and Stakes here. Earlswood was the significant drifter, $3.60 out to $5.50 only a few minutes ago today, but since the yard has taken place, he has trimmed up again back into $5. Let's have a look at what's happening with Mr. Brightside. $1.70 since I last spoke to you, now $1.65. The one that we have to
set, and they're racing at the 1,600 metres, and Mr. Brightside jumped away very well with Earlswood, so the 2 favourites are going to match motors after 100 metres. Inspirational Girl lobs behind them from Spanish Mission, and 2 further back to Sound, as they last of all is Sound. So Earlswood dictates from the front, runs off the back at the 850, leading 3/4 of a length. Mr. Brightside, if anything, getting a little bit closer. A length and a half, Inspirational Girl. Spanish Mission's tracking Mr. Brightside wherever it goes, and it's nice and close behind the favourite, and Sound is last of all. 600 metres to go in the Fiat, and it's Earlswood just in front of Mr. Brightside. The favourites are 1-2. 3/4 of a length to Spanish Mission, and then came Inspirational Girl, who needs a run at this stage, and 2 further back to Sound. So Mr. Brightside steps it up, dials it up, and at the 300 metres goes to the lead from Earlswood, who battles on a length away. Then Spanish Mission, and behind them Inspirational Girl. They bumped round the turn, but Mr. Brightside at the 150, ping for home, 2.5 lengths in front of Spanish Mission. Inspirational Girl, but Mr. Brightside put pay to them, and it's race clear, and Mr. Brightside won at 4 lengths. Inspirational Girl, Spanish Mission, Sound for 4th, and Earlswood was last of the 5.
The dream is alive for the Mr. Brightside team. Ben and JD Hayes have made the comparisons recently that this horse has got a little bit of better loosen up about him. That is high praise indeed, considering the heights that horse hit to win a Japan Cup. But in 1990, he won the Fee and Stakes and then returned to the Valley to claim the WS Cox Plate in those distinctive colours. And Mr. Brightside now has his chance to step to the 2040 in 7 weeks' time and perhaps deliver Craig Williams another Cox Plate as well. Inspirational.
This was a simply dominant performance, Ben.
It was. There was, not a huge amount of pressure on paper going into the race, and it worked out that way, that they didn't go quickly at all in the early stages of the race, but what Mr Brightside was able to do off that slow speed was rocket home. He's run 7th fastest last 800 of the meeting, but the 3rd fastest last 600 and the fastest last 400 and 200 of the meeting there over the mile, which tells you how slowly they've gone early. But he's run a good overall figure, but it was very back-ended, very quick lap.
And it's nice and close behind the favourite, and Sound is last of all. 600 metres to go in the Fiat, and it's Earlswood just in front. So Mr Brightside steps it up, dials it up, and at the 300 metres goes to the lead from Earlswood, who battles on a length away. Then Spanish Mission, and behind them Inspirational Girl. They bumped round the turn, but Mr Brightside at the 150, ping for home. 2.5 lengths in front of Spanish Mission, Inspirational Girl, but Mr Brightside put pay to them, and it's race clear, and Mr Brightside won it 4 lengths. Inspirational Girl, Spanish Mission, Sound for 4th, and Earlswood was
worth noting the early leader in the race, Earlswood, who dropped out, noting in the steward's report a slower than normal recovery. We'll wait for more details on what that means for Earlswood's spring campaign as we welcome in Ben Hayes.
Looks fantastic, and he's very bright and have a course at the moment.
Well, we and our viewers
to the mark. His win yesterday, in my opinion, was probably his best win to date. It's definitely the easiest watch on the bend, and win by 4.5 lengths at weight for age over a mile. Just really exciting. So he's a very special horse.
And I think horses that can cope under pressure are the horses that you want to be following on race day, and he does that really well. I do think he's got a limit on his distance range, because when you look at him physically, he is actually quite a compact horse. He's not a traditional staying type of horse. And look, I think probably 2,000 metres will be sort of his limit. Happy to be proven wrong, but
there is some
I would definitely.
Outside, though. Like he's out of a
yeah, he is out of a Tavistock mare.
That'll help him get to 2,000, not 2,400.
2,400 is the question. I think he'll see out 2,000 metres quite easily because of his temperament and the way he relaxes and the way he races. But look, if I was making the decisions around him, I'd definitely be going to a Cox Plate before I looked at a Caulfield Cup.
Dan Cobby from Lab.
To leave Zaki in yesterday, I thought when the track was downgraded to a 10, they may have just taken the horse out and given him an experience on firmer ground, maybe next Saturday at Flemington. So credit to Annabelle Newsham and Connections for having it throw up the start.
Much of a response to his win?
Not necessarily. Animo's a $4 chance, $4.80 for Zaki. Mr Brightside now ballot exempt, so he's been the firm in the race, $11 into $7. El Bodegon's an interesting runner, of course. I know Richo's spruiking El Bodegon, and he's coming out from Europe.
Have we got a verdict? So Animo here, or what about everyone else? Animo?
I'm saying neither.
I'm probably in the Animo camp at this point in time, having not seen them this campaign.
No, I'm happy to go with Zaki. I thought he was exceptional yesterday.
Group 1 from New Zealand coming up now. The Tarzino Trophy over 1,400 metres. 2 horses in the market, the 8 and the 9. The 8 being Imperatrice, this 4-year-old mare by I Am Invincible. Opie Bosson rides for Mark Walker. She's had 12 starts. She's won 9 of them, with a couple of minor placings as well. She's had 2 runs this time in training, both of those in August, and she has won them both quite. 5 of her 8 starts.
She is $1.55. She has the 2 runs under the belt. She's shown us that she can handle off-track conditions. Different level here.
First of the sections, Group 1, first of the season. It's the Tarzino. Gates are back. We're racing. Caught them fairly well, although Jodlin Gal went back with Dark Destroyer just after the start. Rose and Power began well. Demonetization's going to land right there with Lark Creek and Springtide the inside. And Green Luck's trying to get between those. Then Helena Baby back with Wide Out Imperatrice. She's about 4 wide down the back of the track. 2 lengths Dark Destroyer. She is 6 on the inside. And then Dark Destroyer travels. Behind that, Green Luck and Jodlin Gal as the field for the Tarzino work across the top of the 700 metres, and Rose and Power with Imperatrice going up for a look at the 600 metres. Right there, Demonetisation, Springtide and Helena Baby. Lark Creek is the next one. Dark Destroyer takes off with Jodlin Gal, and the last as they come to the home corner in the Tarzino is Green Luck. Here it is, Rose and Power on the inside, Springtide, Imperatrice over on the outside of these runners, starting to come after them now. She's levelling up with the brave Springtide. Dark Destroyer back in behind these, and Lark Creek is coming through, one off the rail. Imperatrice, Springtide. Lark Creek starting to finish hard, and Dark Destroyer's coming home really strongly down the outside. Here's Dark Destroyer. He's ranged up, hit the lead, and Dark Destroyer, brilliant in the Tarzino. Second, Springtide, Lark Creek and Imperatriz was fourth. Gee, Green Luck made up some. Back behind them, Helena, Baby, Jodel and Gal, and for all press. So good in Queensland, so good here before he went.
So we go to the Ming Dynasty, the race named after him. Rise of the Masses?
Very quickly, you were looking at half that within about 2 minutes. $3.50 and equal favourite as we change it up just this second. Golden Mile at $3.50, equal favourite, but I will tell you, Zoo Tiger is better backed out of the two. Conqueror $4.80, a Basquiat at $8.50. Flag of Honour is the third.
Now, Conqueror's got out nice and cleanly about midfield. He'll settle, and Basquiat jumps sharply together with Zoo Tiger. Rise of the Masses is bursting up to hold the pair of them out early. Then came Machalada, and Golden Mile's going to settle fifth, a lot closer today. Conqueror's railing through on the improve from up, and Zoo Tiger on the prowl in second, 2 lengths away to Basquiat. Pace is genuine up front, they're stringing out. Machalada's fourth, a length into Golden Mile. Magic off the course. They're followed then by Conqueror from Brosnan, Flag of Honour, Williamsburg, and 3 lengths away to Manzois. 600 metres to run. Rise of the Masses, 2 lengths clear from Zoo Tiger, 2 after Basquiat, 2 after Machalade. Golden Mile moving up the outside, further back to Brosnan, and Magic's off the track. Conqueror buried back on the inside as they straighten up. Rise of the Masses, 2 lengths clear from Zoo Tiger, who pounces on the outside. Basquiat as well, and now Golden Mile's winding up on the outside. Basquiat moved up to Zoo Tiger. Golden Mile moved up to the pair. Golden Mile laying it on Basquiat. Got the upper hand though, Golden Mile, and has drawn clear here in the Ming Dynasty. Very strong late, and Golden Mile won it comfortably. Machalade got up for second in front of the tiring Basquiat. Then Flag of Honour from Conqueror. Zoo Tiger dropped out from Brosnan. Then Williamsburg, Manzois. Magic had a tough run, and the leader there, Rise of the Masses, weakened out to finish last.
Golden Mile, Sam Clipperton and James Cummings. What a nice 3-year-old moving forward now. He goes to 1400. He wins the Group 3 Ming Dynasty Quality, and he has moved in dates, but it's run on the same day as the Run to the Rose. And Golden Mile has had that 1400 metre run under his belt now, and all of a sudden he's a Golden Rose contender.
Yep, and he hasn't been over-raced, and yeah, look, he's a really good-looking horse in comparison to his stablemate. He's a very interesting horse. You've got to like from here on in what he does here, and he did react when he drew a barrier, and he did race closer yesterday, and showed improvement. So who's to say that he won't improve again?
I like what Tommy...
After a comprehensive win like that, Machalade was good. Those horses, Basquiat, he had his chance. He travelled sweetly. The winner outpointed him. And then we come down to these probably the Spring Championship horses, and they've gone good. Flag of Honour was excellent. I think Conqueror, no worries yet. He's fine. He just got into that awkward spot where he's another horse. He needs momentum and balance, and so
we can get back to our normal pattern today and get a roll on in front. It's easy to watch that race.
Race 7 is the Furphy Run to the Rose. Golden Mile, a brilliant winner of the Ming Dynasty. Here are the
fillies that is raced, and she was scratched from her previous run last week, saved for this race. She ran really well in the Silver Shadow. There's no reason why she...
Secret is the best backed of the two, though. I'm not surprised to see Best of Bordeaux getting out of touch, particularly after last start. That said, there was money early. It's dried up today in Secret with 2.5 times more money than Best of Bordeaux. Natuno at $5, Jardin at $12, and even more the remainder. But yeah, a bit of a flip at the top.
Fire burning in Secret. Here's Darren for the Furphy Run to the Rose.
The 3-year-olds are set to go. In Secret, the favourite. Very well back today. Gates are back, they're off. Prometo missed the kick by a length or so, and Swiss Exile, Sweet Ride jumped well. So did Best of Bordeaux, and Best of Bordeaux's eyeballing the other two. Natuno away well into fourth, followed then by In Secret. A couple off to Prometo from Political Debate back in the field with the pink cap. Second last, the champion 2-year-old Fireburner, and the stablemate Jardin keeping her company. Best of Bordeaux holds the lead by a half length on Swiss Exile, keen the outside. Natuno third. Sweet Ride fourth, one out, one back. A gap of 3 to the favourite In Secret. A length and a half then to Prometo from Political Debate. Fireburn locked up on the fence by Sajardin as they come to the corner. And Best of Bordeaux, after the good start today, spins the corner in front from Swiss Exile. Natuno needs a bit of room. Sweet Ride moves up the outside. 3 lengths away to the favourite In Secret. It's Best of Bordeaux under siege. Best of Bordeaux just in front from Sweet Ride. Natuno is coming off the fence. In Secret's winding up now. Best of Bordeaux coming back on Sweet Ride. In Secret's lengthening the outside. In Secret right over the top. Power's clear. And a great win in the run to the Rose. In Secret ran down Best of Bordeaux and Sweet Ride. Followed by Natuno. Fireburn warming up at the end. Then came Prometo. Further back to Sajardin from Political Debate and Swiss Exile.
Well, the filly comes out on top and she becomes the first filly to ever win this race, the Run to the Rose. In Secret, what a big 40 minutes it's been for James Cummings and Godolphin. Rocketing into contention for the Golden Rose, and for whatever she wants to run in Secret, she was on a Princess Series path until she had to be a late scratching 7 days ago at Royal Randwick when it became too heavy for her to run. James scratched her. For the Golden Rose after winning the Ming Dynasty and the Run to the Rose yesterday.
Yep, and impressive, I must say, and a fair track as well, which was great. We were a little bit nervous, 5 metre rail in from 7 where it was awful, but a perfect day's racing and two very interesting 3-year-olds from the Godolphin. One's a little...
She's out of whack at the moment in her program. She was to run last week in the Furious. Heavy 10 prevented her from running. They scratched her. This was plan B, the backup plan to run in the Run to the Rose, which leaves her out of contention for the T-Rose next week. It comes up too quick. Out of the blue, and surprisingly, she's become a Golden Rose contender because of that heavy 10 downgrade last week.
Yep, everything's fallen into place. I think they were kicking the cat when they got home last week. What are we going to do next? And so they've arrived here on an afterthought and sets up beautifully. And look at her, where she's just charged through the line there, and I know it all set up beautifully for her, and Tommy read the speed so well, but it's a filly again that starts off the 3-year-old season on beating the Colts. And look, you look at a pedigree and where some of us are a little worried that she's bred to run, 1,000, 1,200 metres, but there's every indication that after finishing off like that, that she'll run 1,200 metres. So, and I still think she's still got some furnishing to do.
Oh, I think she was ultra impressive. So quick, it set up good for her. But Tommy had her under a fair bit of pressure, 600 from home, to race at a top like she did for so long. And then when Tommy switched the stick over to the right hand, I was just super impressed with the way she just exploded through the line. She's pretty special, I think.
First filly to win that. Yeah, well, we've got to talk about some of the beating brigade there as well.
Mate, honestly, the more I watched it last night when I got home, the more the runs become better. Like, there's just so many good runs in that race. I went and spoke to Brenton Abdullah after the last race about Fireburn. He was ultra impressed. She ran through the line really well. Best of Bordeaux. How tough is this horse?
Well, on the point of the turn, I said, he's gone. But he showed character, I must say, to hold on to second, even though...
Yeah, he should have definitely run a clear second.
I like that horse behind them. Look at that Prometo running through the line. There's a race in him. I don't know whether it's the Golden Rose or what, but... there's a race in that horse. He's got a good performance left in him for sure.
Rose in 2 weeks' time.
Now that's starting to take a little bit of shape now. We've got a bit of form to work with, and obviously the heat of the moment, they're going to firm, and obviously In Secret Golden Mile have taken over from favouritism. Jacquinot, we've seen him, and he's a big X factor because I think Mick Price doesn't want to run him to the race after winning. And
great thumbs up back, so he's very happy.
Best of luck, Tom.
Cheers, Jenny.
OK, coming into the Fujitsu General 3 Mark Stakes, James Cummings not on
Mozart, and you can understand that. There's a little bit of interest in Special K as well, but as we have a look at them from top to bottom, Mr Mozart at $3.40, Ellsberg $5, Jarmea $6.50, Kementari at $9.50, and then a Tissue 16 into 10. There's not a huge amount of support there, $15 or more the rest. I mentioned earlier, team, and I'll just...
Off now, and the Theo Marks and Prime Candidate began brilliantly as usual. Big Boy Roy was fast into stride, and Ellsberg is spearing forward into into third in front of Mr. Mozart, holding a forward position on the rails in fifth. A couple off to Jamea midfield. In advance of Kementari, then came a Tissue. 2.5 further back to Rustic Steel, then Tycoonist, and Kiku is the last one. Prime Candidate holds the front down the side by a length on Big Boy Roy. Ellsberg and Mr. Mozart racing together, although Mr. Mozart's pulling pretty hard the outside. Goes to a clear third now in advance of Ellsberg and Colding. Then came Jamea enjoying the tempo. Further back to a Tissue, Kementari, Rustic Steel, Kiku, and Tycoonist is the last one. Under the lightweight, Prime Candidate leads for Dylan Gibbons, turning the corner by a length on Big Boy Roy. Mr. Mozart the outside in third. Ellsberg a bit cluttered up between runners. Jamea gets going on the outside. 300 metres to run. Prime Candidate's got a good kick in the lead. Jamea is the main pursuer. Prime Candidate 2 lengths clear from Jamea. Then came Mr. Mozart. Kementari late on the scene. Prime Candidate just in front from Jamea. Kiku wide out with a big run. Mr. Mozart through the centre. Kiku down the outside. Blew them away at the end. Kiku got up to win it from Mr. Mozart through into second. And third between Jamea and Prime Candidate. Kementari close up. Followed then by a Tissue, Rustic Steel, Big Boy Roy, Tycoonist and Colding. And didn't that change complexion late?
Didn't it, White? Go and watch that 5 or 6 times. You're going to need to. Kiku is going to sweep home down the outside and win it 1990 and 450. How Mr. Mozart's come back and run second is anyone's guess. Jamea was going to...
I'd like to have another look at him. He was going to burst onto the scene and he just gets probably pushed back in by maybe Kiku, who pushes him back in, or maybe he was waiting for the split inside Jamea. So... Look, Ellsberg sits outside Prime Candidate, you know, Mr. Mozart sits behind him, and they just looked at each other for too long here, and I don't know what happened. I'll try and get you to explain that in a minute, Corey, but there's so many, and she just, the winner just comes with momentum down the outside, and so many of these horses get held up, and it's a bunch finish, and you try and work this race out form-wise. You know, Rustic Steel was held up, a Tissue was held up, Mr. Mozart, he was
never going to run second.
Exactly.
No. He was going to run 4th or 5th.
He drew barrier 3 and he ended up wide no cover from the 1,000 metres home. Ellsberg, after thinking he's going to sit outside the lead, he never gets a crack at them. Yeah. He should have been right in the finish as well. And even old mate Kementari gets held up. Yeah. So it was just it was a messy race. She was on the spot at the right time, Kiku, and she's got improvement to come. Like she got away with that one. I'm not so sure she should have. Yeah. Because I think it was only probably going to be a warm-up race for next time.
Whilst everyone else was in trouble.
Waller at the top, Fangirl and Hinged. You got Mare.
Today, and obviously today's going to be a guide through that.
Thanks, Paulie.
Thank you.
More stakes racing here at Rosehill Gardens. This is race 9, the Irresistible Pools Shirako Stakes. Group 2 for the fillies and mares. 12.
We know she's a brilliant mare with a great record, very fit, just continues to thrive with racing, and she's a with
Bjorn Baker, but Espiona's been equally well backed. I know there's a bit of a price differential still, 60 cents separating them, but there's not much in terms of money held, and Espiona is $3.50 into $3 late. My Whisper at 12.
Racing now, and Shades of Roses jumped really well from the wide draw. Sky Command was nicely into stride, but King's eyeing off the lead on Shades of Rose. She's going to do it comfortably by 2 lengths on Sky Command. Electric Girl from Palaisapan. Tycoon Evie's caught out deep, followed then by Fatou's pushing through on the rails. A length further back to My Whisper. Espiona up on the outside improving. A length and a half to Sneaky Page, and the last 2 Startontes and Papali. But it's Shades of Rose put bright on the bridle down the side by a length on Sky Command at the 600. A length off to Electric Girl, then Palaisapan. Tycoon Evie out 3 wide, followed by Fatou. Sits Me in the middle, followed then by Espiona, starting to improve with cover as they straighten up. Shades of Rose swings in front, still travelling by 2 on Sky Command. Electric Girl, Fatou's working into the clear. Espiona's getting right to the outside, starting to lengthen, but still 5 off the lead. Shades of Rose, 200 metres to run, 2 lengths clear from Electric Girl. Espiona can't get there. It's Me with late headway, but Shades of Rose in front from Electric Girl. She's getting tied. Shades of Rose I think she just held on. It's a photo here. Shades of Rose getting very tired from Electric Girl, but I think she just clung on. Then it's me from further back, Palazzo-Pan, Espiona Star Todes for Toos. Then came Sneaky Page, Tycoon Evie and Papali.
Well, it's graduation day for Shades of Rose. She's gone from benchmark company all the way to a Group 2. She wouldn't have wanted it any further, but it looks as though she has... Where's the photo?
Inside.
Inside's got it. She's won it. She's won it. Shades of Rose has won it and beaten Electric Girl. What a finish. What a man.
Connections should be over the moon with that. She's held on. Electric Girl, they nearly got the tab. We can't let that happen. And It's Me's put a... Palazzo Pan's gone well, and It's Me's put another sharp run in as far as the Kosios is concerned. But
Winter, Shades of Rose, working her way through benchmark company. Nowhere else to go but straight to group company. Yesterday in the Scirocco, the Group 2 for fillies and mares. And here she is leading all the way, falling in the end.
Yeah, what a valuable mare she is now, though. I see her half-brother won yesterday, Scalapini as well. So it's a great family, and she gets the stakes win on the board, and Dead Set has earned it. She's done a marvellous job ticking off the 1,200-metre box. I thought she was going to get beat for one. Yeah. I reckon the bob of the head at one stage there, Electric Girl may have even got...
Bob before?
Before the line was in front. So a deserved victory. What he does with her now probably has to turn her out and look after her because she's been up since the middle of winter.
I'll be shocked if he continues with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she deserves it.
It was good, nice mare. Electric Girl was a big improvement. Now, Espiona, she...
What's this habit?
She's got to go straight.
Yes.
She's going to be a good horse. You know, whether there's just something niggling her or... when she peeled to the outside, I thought she was just going to pin the ears and explode, but she didn't. Horses want to wander and, you know...
It normally means something.
Yeah. Well, you got the right man to sort her out. Maybe she was just lacking a bit of match practice, but she's on notice now. I thought...
Time for the big one, and I'm Thunderstruck heads the market now at $2.50. If you do like the favourite, you're probably getting a better price than we may have thought after he was back from $2.50 into $2.20 on yesterday. Still the commanding favourite, just pushed out slightly. Alligator Blood has been a little bit soft on race day, out to $5. Cascadian splits the top two in the market at $4.80. Western Empire $6.50, and Moonga's been a little bit soft, $9 out to $11.
But on Group 1 since 2013. Last year incentivised defeated Moonga, Sir Dragonet, Tefane fourth, Colette fifth, Fierce Impact defeating Russian Camelot 2 years ago. 4 of the last 8 winners have come out of the Memsey. That is the path. I'm Thunderstruck comes through. He was superb. Second to snap. Clint Hutchinson, who adds their name in the $1 million Makybe Diva of 2022.
Well, the flashing light run in the Memsey was clearly I'm Thunderstruck, and I think he can atone here and go one.
I'm Thunderstruck on top, and I think it's just going to be a case of trying to find that run at the top of the straight, and if he does, he's going to be too good for them.
Improved off the back of his first up assignment. No knock whatsoever, and I'm Thunderstruck. He's taken natural improvement out of this run, and he's certainly the horse to beat. But I'm with Western Emperor here. I think he's really...
50 out to $2.70 now, your favourite, taking on I'm Thunderstruck. Cascadian starting to trim up. The best you could bet today after scratchings was $6. Have a look at this. He's into $4. Why? Well, he gets that cover, doesn't he, off the speed in this small field, and he peels to the middle of the track. Maybe he's the map horse.
Yeah, they're set at the 1,600 metres. Gates are back and away. I'm Thunderstruck, Alligator Blood, both jumped well, but the Alligator's going forward to the lead. Out wide, Nonconformist, and also Moonga Show Pace, and Western Empire is also in the top 4. I'm Thunderstruck back to 5th. They were followed by Regal Power, 2 lengths away, She's Ideal, and last of all is Cascadian. 1,200 to go. Alligator Blood looks to slow it up, led by 3 off the favourite and tracking Moonga. 2 lengths to She's Ideal and Cascadian last. 900 metres to go. Alligator Blood, it's even, led by a half-length Nonconformist, a length and a quarter Western Empire Moonga, a length and a quarter I'm Thunderstruck, and then came Regal Power, Cascadian the outside of She's Ideal at the end. Alligator Blood with a cheap split here, comes up towards the corner, led Nonconformist at the 600 metres, a length and a quarter Moonga about to peel 3 wide. Western Empire needing some luck, Regal Power behind those horses. They were followed by I'm Thunderstruck, Cascadian and She's Ideal. 450 metres to go. Alligator Blood is the first to straighten, clicks up and kicks away. 2.5 lengths in front of Western Empire. I'm Thunderstruck darting through over on the far side. Then came Moonga and Cascadian down the outer. Alligator Blood, 150 metres to go. 2 lengths in front. I'm Thunderstruck needing to get there. Alligator Blood tiring. I'm Thunderstruck over the top, rumbling hard and got up. I'm Thunderstruck, I reckon's just beaten Alligator Blood in a beauty. Third in the race, Moonga, followed by Cascadian, and behind them Nonconformist. Then Western Empire, Regal Power, and She's Ideal. It's a photo finish. Terrific finish.
The photo, I'm Thunderstruck, has jumped out of the ground to try and reel in Alligator Blood. Heads up, heads down. The baldy face of I'm Thunderstruck on the outside. Alligator Blood on the inside. Those on course think it might be the favourite. The photo's there, and it's the Thunder. I'm Thunderstruck will win the Makybe Diva Stakes. And there's a fair dash of lightning about this guy as well. What a performance. Mark Zahra strung up in traffic on several occasions. He goes back to the inside in one of the more audacious moves and reels in Alligator Blood in the shadows of the post. Second Group 1 for the post. Second Group 1 for I'm Thunderstruck. Goes alongside last year's Toorak handicap victory. He ran enormous here from gate 1 behind Zark.
It's a bit of toing and fro. Two great rides. I mean, we're playing, giving the plaudits, of course, I'm Thunderstruck and Mark Zahra, but Timmy Clark out in front, geez, he's led everywhere, bar right on the line.
He certainly did. He put him to the sword. He had to chase him, but Mark Zahra just couldn't hold third the fence, which was detrimental. Then he looked around the home bend to get out into clear running 3-4 wide. Got blocked there, had to go back to the inside, and to the horse's credit, to pick himself up and get there on the wire was a huge effort. But I think Mark Zahra will think...
It's pretty captivating, Mick.
Well, he's pretty brave, wasn't he? I mean, he was in a awkward spot again behind heels, and Alligator Blood was off and gone, you know, and I thought, well, probably the best horse in the race, Alligator Blood. We're not going to run him down, but probably the beauty of Flemington. And you know what, I just got to say to this kid here, this kid, he really had to run down the right horse in the race, and I thought Timmy Clark, beautiful front-running ride, and I've seen Alligator Blood win some huge races, you know, have total respect for him, and for us to be able to run that horse down, I just thought it's a good indicator of things to come, you know, so into the Underwood, into the Might and Power, into the Cox Plate.
So the flip of having...
Well, it was... a great contest in terms of the spectacle, but how did this race unfold from a times perspective, and how do you think this performance will rate?
Look, it'll rate well. I mean, as expected, really, the tempo was reasonably sedate through the first half of the race, but there was a bit of toing and froing. It wasn't there early with I'm Thunderstruck, almost trying to hold a position. We'll speak to Mark Zahra soon enough, but Nonconformist going forward was the surprise. But once they'd settled down, he was going to need a lot of luck in running. But yeah, the closing sectionals were fantastic from I'm Thunderstruck, who produced an awesome finish to run down Alligator Blood. It was beautifully rated from Tim Clark, but that's enough of the times. That's just enough of the times. That's just this brilliant call from Matty Hill.
900 Regal Power behind those horses. They were followed by I'm Thunderstruck, Cascadian, and She's Ideal. 450 metres to go. Alligator Blood is the first to straighten. Clicks up and kicks away. 2.5 lengths in front of Western Empire. I'm Thunderstruck darting through over on the far side. Then came Moonga and Cascadian down the outer. Alligator Blood, 150 metres to go. 2 lengths in front. I'm Thunderstruck needing to get there. Alligator Blood tiring. I'm Thunderstruck over the top, rumbling hard, and got up. I'm Thunderstruck, I reckon.
What a race, what a call from Matty Hill. It's what we come to expect. But from a neutral observer, Catherine, didn't have any runners in the race. What did you...
Career progression, and to see him come back to something like his best, I think, you know, he's really got quite a big following out there, and I think he deserves to win a good race this time around. But Thunder was just super, wasn't he? Well,
it's the second time we've seen Alligator Blood, Mike, lead in a Group 1 mile contest, look home and be run down. It happened to the Caulfield Guineas and again there yesterday.
I mean, he was perfectly rated in front, I thought, and that mid-race slowdown played into his hands. And, you know, Mark was probably a little bit lucky at the top of the straight, and I'll be interested to get Mark's thoughts on this, because he was held up in traffic and nowhere to go, and the run appeared on the fence. If that run wasn't there and Alligator Blood kicks away, it's game over. So But I just love the way I'm Thunder.
Those behind third, fourth, and beyond. Did you see sort of any excuses, or what do you think? Sort of horses like Western.
I think visually, what we saw was it. I mean, the first two past the post were the runs, weren't they? Out of the race, Elleegant Blood was super. Great to see him back. He's got another good one in him somewhere, and he was like Catherine said, all bar the line. You know, it was a terrific performance. I mean, I thought, with about 150 to go, he's going to run out of real estate here on Thunderstruck. He's going to power home, but he's just not... I mean, to make up that ground in the final 100 metres is so exciting and an unbelievable performance. He highlighted that in the Memsey with that run. He's backed it up, and he's obviously in for an unbelievable preparation.
Well, he's moved now to third line of betting in the Cox Plate behind Animo and also Zaki. So he's up there with the big guns, and this is how he's pulled up.
Oh, it was a great performance. Great call from Matty Hill, wasn't it? Got a bit of goosebumps watching that again. But, yeah, I don't think many horses would be able to run Elleegant Blood down the way he kicked at the top of the straight. When I finally got a bit of room there, I was like, I think it's too far gone here. But, geez, he's got a good will to win, my horse, when I sort of got within, you know, the space of Elleegant Blood. And, yeah, great win, great victory. But when you got a horse with a turn of foot like that, they can get you out of trouble a lot of times. And I just need a little bit of room. And when I got it, he sprinted so quick. And when I did get it, I thought I didn't think I was going to get it. I thought I'm going to run this horse to a half a length. But his turn of foot was just amazing. And like I say, when I levelled up and got close to Elleegant Blood, he had a will to win. You know, I reckon he put in a bit extra. Whether Elleegant Blood was stopping or not, maybe. But when I sort of levelled up sort of a neck, he had a real crack to win, which is you know, makes my life a lot easier.
Your punters on the ropes here. I'm Thunderstruck, the only favourite getting up as we speak. Let's have a look at the mares. Doesn't get any easier. But top two in the market absolutely dominate. Now, Flying Mascot had the better SP than Kiss on All Four Cheeks, $11 to $13 when they first up ran. And, of course, $11 late.
Pinker one en route to winning a Cox Plate. The 2022 Let's Elope for the mares over 1,400. Who wins the Group 2, Hutch?
I thought this was a difficult race, but I'm happy to have something small on Iron Benet and Cuban Link at the $19.
The mares that I think will be up on speed in Flying Mascot, Lady of Honour. They're the two horses that I want to work around.
Anything in the yard that looked as good as her and walked as good as her, so she goes on top. Outside of that, IMB.
Now, Kiss on All Four Cheeks, you know, she beat the boys second up. This track and trip at Group 3 level. Last preparation, she's second up here. Geez, $4 was the best price we were betting at Sportsbet today. Now into $3.60. So here comes the money. Nick
Bit of a mood. Number 9. And then Kiss on All Four Cheeks, who's 7 off the front from Tokarangi, La Dragon T and Steinem. Around the turn, 500 metres to go. It's Lady of Honour held together by a length and a quarter. Flying Mascot, then Elusive Express. I Am Benet. Daisies runs up behind them. Cuban Link coming on. Kiss on All Four Cheeks runs on too. And then Foxy Frida. Lady of Honour went for home at the 250, had a kick in the locker, a length and a half. Kiss on All Four Cheeks, yearning down the outside, running on. Lady of Honour, 100 to go. Kiss on All Four Cheeks, grabbing her. Lady of Honour just in front. Kiss on All Four Cheeks has got her, then Yearning, and Kiss on All Four Cheeks has won it from a photo. Lady of Honour or Yearning, and behind those horses then was Foxy Frida in 4 from Flying Mascot, Daisies, Glint of Hope, Fortunate Kiss, Elusive Express, La Dragon T, I Am Benet, Tokarangi, Cuban Link and Steinem.
They can celebrate with the best of them this stable, and as they should, because they've got another beauty on their hands in Kiss on All Four Cheeks, who's acclimatised to the Victorian surrounds in such fine fashion, as she did in the Shaftesbury Avenue on Super Saturday. Second up, Flemington, 1,400 metres. Mark Zahra is a winning formula. The win didn't quite. All Four Cheeks is undoubtedly the story. Be interesting to chat to Nick Ryan as to perhaps whether a mile and the Empire Rose is in their thinking.
Another delightful ride from Mark Zahra, wasn't it? Yeah, she was well backed. She's got this brilliant turn of foot, but he executed that.
Mile race, I think there's a new race, a mile mares race, whether it's new or not actually, but it's very big prize money. And talking to Nick and even Danny, they were so confident yesterday, and I was like, geez, it's a shocking barrier. I was like, Lady of Honour's just going to lead, and Flying Mascot's going to get an easy sit outside it. And I said, I'm going to be in no man's land. So I wasn't as confident as them, actually, and just worked out. Lady of Honour actually rolled along a little bit, and I was able to just find a spot with a bit of cover, and yeah, it was a good win. She's a very good mare, and she's going to have a really good prep, I reckon.
Mark, just when all those points you mentioned, it was At the time, obviously we were not sure about the sectional data, but it's actually probably been an even better performance because basically just prior to turning, you mentioned as well yesterday that Ollie wasn't really taking anywhere on Foxy Frieda. So you had to sort of almost commit a little bit earlier than I'm sure that was ideal. So is it fair to say there was a bit more merit to the win than the margin would suggest?
Yeah, absolutely. Like at Flemington, you always like to get a roll into the... well, me personally, I like to at least get into the straight before I come out. And, you know, Ollie was just hard riding Foxy Frieda, and I was like, I can't wait any longer. So I had to peel out, and there was quite a strong headwind there yesterday. So I peeled out, and I was waiting, but out of the corner of my left eye, I could see Jake sitting on Lady of Honour, and he was sitting quite pretty himself. And, yeah, to come out and to make that long run, it was a great effort. And then she's got a great will to win as well. Like I could hear Damien Thornton screaming outside me, and it was like she did enough to fend him off, but also did enough to beat the horse on the inside. You know, she's a
That it does, yeah, it's a tough race. Look, I think Stage Man, I thought just with the blinkers going back on today, looks a really good chance. And it's pretty open outside of that. I respect a few of the others. I think the Astrologers can run well. I suppose the Tory's not the worst at a price, but it's a tough race.
Yeah, we see the Newmarket winner, Rockin' Horse, heading down towards the start. So Hutchie's gone with Stage Man on top for Denny O'Brien here with Damien Oliver. I got the same horse on top as well. I thought very...
Gone with the 4 Rockin' Horse on top. I like the improvement she's made in between runs. I think she's a mare that's really nicely put together. She's certainly got strength where she needs. So she got...
Okay, here we go, $5 a field. Schwatz that, trims half a point, $5 favourite. Here we go, it's really open. Outside of that, it is on. Shooting for Gold, $6 has been solid all the way through today. Stage Man popped out to around that $10, back into $8.50. The Astrologist, $9 into $6.50 now, steadying up at $7.
So Zootori, Lewis quality, time-honoured race. The Astrologist stands well with Red Can Man. Shooting for Gold, one of the favourites drawn wide. They stand, they're ready, and away they go. Varanskova jumped away pretty well from barrier number 3, and Rockin' Horse jumped away quickly too. Rohirrim out fast with Red Can Man, Chatton Shooting for Gold, and the Astrologist. So they huddle up the middle. The Astrologist led Red Can Man, followed then by Rockin' Horse and Shooting for Gold out wider. Behind them, Swats that Rohirrim Zootori, followed by Chatton Hard Empire. Varanskova gets back in the back half with Baller, and they were followed by Graceful Girl Poland and Stage Man at the end of the field. Towards the course proper, 700 metres to go. The Astrologist from Red Can Man, and then Shooting for Gold. Next in the field is Rockin' Horse Zootori. Swats that from Chatton Hard Empire. Zootori in the middle of the pack would be about 4 off the lead. Varanskova, Baller, Graceful Girl, Rohirrim, Stage Man and Poland. The Astrologist just in front of Red Can Man as they reach the 300 metres, and Rockin' Horse is driving through too. The Newmarket winner takes the lead, but Baller's coming at it. Baller over on the far side from Rockin' Horse. Red Can Man then Swats that late. Baller just in front. Rockin' Horse is in for the fight. Baller and Rockin' Horse, they hit it. Baller's just beaten Rockin' Horse, I'd say, and then Swats that Red Can Man. And behind those horses, Graceful Girl. From the Astrologist, Zootori, Rohirrim, Varanskova. Shooting for Gold, Hard Empire, Poland. Stage Man never came on. And Chatters at the end of the field.
Mark Zahra becomes the first jockey to win the Bobby Lewis on 3 occasions in its 49-year history. He's got a treble on Makybe Diva Stakes Day. He took out the spoils earlier aboard I'm Thunderstruck. He's now got a race-to-race double after getting it done on Kiss on All 4 Cheeks in the Let's Elope. He grabs the other Group 2, so a clean sweep of the big races on the day for one of Victoria's and Australia's leading riders in Mark Zahra. And Baller, who was described in late June, the best run of his preparation was that Group 2 Morton Cup victory. He was also 8th in a Dubin 10,000 behind Marzu. Super performance from Rockin' Horse, who again shows a real adeptness for the straight 6 at Flemington, and the riding of Patrick Maloney. Swats that's first run for Marius is a good one into third, and Red Can Man.
By that stage of the day, it seemed a lot of the jockeys were wanting to get sort of out towards the middle to outside. Barrier 1 didn't look ideal, but it seemed quite a good victory, defeating the Newmarket handicap winner.
Yeah, for sure. Tony wasn't there, but I had a quick little call with him just before the race with his the girl that works for him, and we pretty much conceded that we had no chance of winning before the race with Verry won. He's like, this is a shocking gate. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I said, I don't know what we're going to do. And it just worked out. I was a little bit steady away, and it worked in my favour because I was able to I think if you get back on these horses that draw in, you just need to at least get in the line of something to follow. And I was able to get the back of Swats out there for the majority of the race and just follow her down. And even still, like to switch back to the inside and show a turn of foot, it's not easy. Not a lot of horses do it at all. And you can just see here, like I was just following Swats out and I thought, all right, I'll just peel to the inside here. And for him to show his turn of foot and come up inside him was a very good effort. Like I say, like I was probably lucky that the boys were getting towards the middle, so they gave me a bit of a chance. I reckon if they'd stayed in a bit, it would have put me in a pretty awkward spot. But they come to the middle, so I was able to get cover. And then he showed a really good turn of foot when I switched in and gave him a kick in the guts.
Looking ahead to the rest of the Spring Carnival, Mark, have you sort of got any horses that you're outside of I'm Thunderstruck that you're pinning your hopes on? Is there anything else that you're sort of looking to partner with?
Very elegant today. Looking at the other runners in this race, number 1 is Mutahai. Mutahai will race very close. If you go back 3 starts ago to March, he won a listed race by being in front. He has been back to now into 2.5. Second market choice, Very Elegant, 4.7 out to 4.8. Then Iracine, very on. So there's Very Elegant. She's on her way down to the start with Christophe Simeon on board. And gates are back. They're off and racing. They've jumped out as one. Bubble Gift was taken out towards the rear. Rhapsody on the outside. Mutahai in the white polka dots, and Very Elegant goes into a very forward position today. High definition as pacemaker in the early stages. Now, Very Elegant is going up, and she's going to take the lead here. Very Elegant's gone to the front in the of the race. She goes over ahead of High Definition. In third is Mutahai. Bubble Gift was 3 back down on the rail. Themselves out, and it's the champion Australian mare going to the lead. She can now dictate terms by a length and a half. In second, came down the side of the course. They head down towards the 1,000, and the lead Very. Can she make it an all-the-way victory? She's by a length. In second is High Definition. Bubble Gift is third. My Rhapsody, followed then by Mutahai. Rear of the field is Iracine as they're in the false straight. The leader is Very Elegant. She still stacks them up. No change in the Elegant by a length. High Definition second. Bubble Gift is third on the inside. My Rhapsody moving forward, followed then by Mutahai, and then came still last of all as they came towards the top of the straight, entering into the home running. They race on down to the last 500. Very Elegant's in front. She shakes High Definition. Bubble Gift attempting to come off the inside. My Rhapsody. They were followed by Iracine and Mutahai, but it's Very Elegant just in front. Bubble Gift, he gets through. He's come off the fence. He's out after the mare. It is Bubble Gift, and here comes Iracine on the outside. Put eyes on the far side. Very Elegant, Bubble Gift, Iracine over the top of them. The 3 of them are in line inside the final 50. Iracine goes home too well. Iracine got up to win by a length and a half to 2 lengths. Bubble Gift second. A very, very gallant third was Very Elegant. Gee, that was a great run. They are the remaining runners, headed up by Mutahai, and then came further back to High Definition, and My Rhapsody was last of all. Great run, Very Elegant. Take nothing away. She set the pace, and she's boxed on well today, but it was the very progressive Iracine that's been a prize for Marie Vellon. Iracine was taken out to the rear of the field, and as they came down towards the last 4, was still near enough to last on the rail and held up. Very Elegant. Christophe's getting everything out of Very Elegant. Bubble Gift, immediate danger. He loomed up. And then Iracine peels off the inside, sees daylight, comes all over the top of them in a good staying performance. Iracine going on to win the Prix. Second home, Bubble Gift just ahead of Verry. 3, 5, 6, 1, 4 and 2. 3, 5, 6, 1, 4 and 2. Great run from Very Elegant. He is a gelding. He won't be in the Arc in 3 weeks' time.